attend, and they will be joining us hopefully shortly. Mr. Rossetti, our administrator.
Present.
Ms. Castro, our assistant administrator.
Present.
Mr. Panico, our consultant.
Present.
And Ms. Renassos, our recording secretary.
Present.
Okay, alternate Commissioner Donato, you are being seated for Commissioner Tiki.
Okay, yes.
Thank you. And just a couple of points before continuing with today's agenda. Mr. Rossetti will act as the Zoom meeting host. Commissioners will be able to make comments throughout the meeting. And the chair asks that you please identify yourself and wait to be recognized to make sure we're not all speaking over each other and to make sure our recording secretary is clear as to who is speaking. I think alternate Commissioner Onofrio is in the waiting room.
He's here now. Yep.
Very good. Okay, alternate Commissioner Onofrio, could you indicate that you're present, please?
I am here, Commissioner Harger. Thank you.
Thank you. And you are being seated for Commissioner Laskos.
Yes.
All right, our first agenda item is our applications for certificate of zoning compliance. And I understand for Commissioner Motto, the zoning subcommittee met to review the 4 assigned applications. Commissioner Motto, what's the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee for the first one? Evolve Computer, 356 Howe Avenue.
Yeah, we didn't have any problem with that particular one. That was fine.
Okay, this is moving from the corner, I believe, of White Street and Howe Avenue next to Amici's. down to
Right.
Can
building.
you allow screen sharing?
Yeah, that would be, let everybody see it. Be good.
Mhm.
There we go. Got it. And then the applicants are online. I just don't have the names too, so if they could raise their hand if you have any questions.
Sure. So this is a pretty much straightforward, simple sign, no problems, Commissioner Mata, with the length of it?
No, it's within the zoning, which Alexandra's been helpfully putting the dimensions that are allowed on these applications for us. So it's within within those guidelines. And we talked a little bit about the 2 logos and decided, you know, that's kind of how they've been presenting themselves, and there's symmetry to it. So we all.
It's
So-
a balance for sure.
It's a
And
good
this
match
is,
for the building.
could you repeat that, Commissioner Kelly?
I said it's a good match for the
Yeah.
building.
It definitely is. And this is a interior lit sign, or how is that?
This is
I don't
not.
think
Doesn't
Right.
appear to be lit. Look at the cross section of it.
Yeah, I didn't see that there. So is this going to be illuminated at night by some means then?
No, not to my knowledge. It wasn't listed as an illuminated.
Okay. All right. Well, if the applicants do have some change to that, they just need to come back before the commission. So no illumination planned. All right. All right. Does anybody have any questions for Commissioner Motto? Mr. Panico, you have any concerns about this?
No, I
Okay.
haven't spent much time looking at it, but it seems to be okay.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So is there a motion to, on this particular application?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to move it.
Okay, this is an approval, Commissioner
Yes,
Kelly?
it is. It's an
Okay.
approval.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Motto is second. So on the motion to approve from Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Motto, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Donato?
Yes.
You're okay. Commissioner Onofrio?
Aye.
Commissioner Motto?
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion has passed by a vote of 5-0. Okay. Next, we have Left Field Sports Bar and Grill, 458 River Road for a sign. Commissioner Motto, what's the recommendation?
This is going, Alexandra can show, it's going on this post, and it's replacing the hook, line and sinker there.
Right.
So our only, and it's the same size, so the only problem we had was the address. Don't need to put Shelton up there. And Ruth thought we didn't need to put River Road either, just the number 458, center that and
Yep.
get rid of her.
Mhm. And what about the phone number?
Yeah, get rid of the phone number.
Okay. So the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee is to just have the street number centered on the sign, no street name, no town, and no phone number.
Right.
Anybody have any questions? Mr. Panico, do you have any concerns on this?
Not I, no.
Okay. So is there anyone that wants to make a motion on this particular application?
This is Commissioner Donato. I'll make a motion to accept it.
Okay, so this is a motion to approve as recommended by the zoning subcommittee?
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Okay, very good. And is there a second?
I'll second it, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, thank you. So on the motion to approve as recommended by the zoning subcommittee from Commissioner Donato, seconded by Commissioner Kelly, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Onofrio,
1,001 square foot house at Southern Knot.
Aye.
okay, and Commissioner Donato,
aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 5-0. Thank you. Mr. Rossetti, is Commissioner Parkins in the waiting room yet?
I don't see her.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to check. All right, Commissioner Amato, the next one is Smokers Pavilion, 1/3, and it's on River Road. Where's my new agenda? And not on River Road, Bridgeport Avenue, I'm sorry.
Where the Walgreens,
No, 702 Bridgeport Avenue. This is across the street from Curtis Ryan, I believe.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
shopping
no,
center in
no.
there.
Oh,
I
I'm
thought it-
sorry.
same,
This is by the sandwich shop up there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
the
what's
Greek,
the-
Greek place.
Yeah, the Greeks is there. And then there's also the mattress places in this area.
Yeah.
Mattress firm. Okay.
So it's just a name change. The size is within bounds, so we had no problem with it. We did have some discussion about all the, I think those are neon signs in the windows, so I don't know if that's
Is the sign lit? Because the other one was, I believe.
I don't remember that we talked about that. Yeah, the other one looks like it would have been lit.
Yeah,
I do not have the answer to that. I don't know. The applicant is online. Alex, he's raising his hand.
Okay, so if the applicant can identify himself for the record. Once you're elevated.
It's Bob Neth,
Okay, Bob, spell your last name, please.
Neth.
Okay, and you're the proprietor of the Smokers Pavilion?
We're the sign, we're doing the sign.
Oh, you're doing the sign. Okay, so is this going to be interior lit?
Yeah, it's going to be LED letters, just like the current sign.
Okay. So these are standalone separate letters?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we would be able to pick that up from the way that the,
well, yeah, but is it mounted on a aluminum panel or something?
It's mounted to that existing aluminum structure that's there.
Okay, so the
It's like there's a mounting bar. Is there a mounting bar?
Yeah, that backer that's there is the mounting area for the letters.
well, it looks like Alibaba Smoke Shop letters are.
it looks
stand
like
out.
it's on something else and then that's onto the building, but am I correct?
That structure that you see there, the off-white structure,
Correct,
that's attached to the building and the letters are attached to that.
right.
Okay.
Well, the other one the letters are just attached to the building or to a channel or something, am I correct?
Well, the backer is the channel.
Okay,
No, the existing sign
Yes.
did not have that back, the back or the off-white on it. It was just to a channel, am I correct?
No, the current letters Alibaba is mounted to that backer structure.
So, okay, so why
Is that going to continue to be there?
I'm sorry?
is it going to continue to be there?
Yes.
the white background is, yeah.
Yeah, we're basically taking the Alibaba smoke shop letters off, making new letters and put them in the same spot.
Okay,
They just blotted it out to make a,
To show
Background.
what it is, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, we blotted it out so we can get rid of the name, the old name.
okay.
All
All
right.
right, any further questions from the commission for this particular application? Oh, and it's only gonna be one color in red?
Yes.
Okay,
I would
Right, so-
suggest that your action not involve that sign, that portable sign out front, because there's some question in my mind about whether that's acceptable or not.
yeah, no, this is only for the two words smokers pavilion that go
Right.
above the doorway,
Right.
okay?
I don't want to misunderstood that you're approving everything
No.
else.
Right,
No, absolutely,
or what's on the windows, right?
okay, no. All right, so is there a commissioner who would like to make a motion on this particular application?
I'll make a motion to accept the Commissioner Kelly to approve it.
To approve, okay, there's a motion to approve from Commissioner Kelly. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, from
Motion.
Commissioner Donato is a second. So I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye,
Commissioner Donato,
Aye.
Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed 5-0. And the chair is requesting that the zoning enforcement officer visit this particular site and to make sure that the neon signs are and the sidewalk sign are in conformity with our zoning regulations.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rossetti, will you pass that along, please?
Sure.
Okay. All right, next one is Subway on One Corporate Drive. Commissioner Mata, what's the recommendation of the zoning subcommittee for this?
Well, we particularly wanted everyone to take a look at this. And Ruth had pointed out that this is the only business in that building. It has many other major companies
Right,
that have a monument sign, which is not our usual thing.
yeah,
And it's not a Subway retail outlet. This is their headquarters. So we're assuming people who work in their headquarters would know where they are.
right. Yeah, I tell you the truth, I was a little taken aback when I saw this a couple of days ago. And,
Two of them.
Right there.
yeah. And to
are
tell
there
you the truth,
two signs or just one?
no, it's two. If you look at this aerial view, you can see the arrows are pointing to two separate monument signs. Flanking
Yeah, I
the
mean, that's kind
entrance.
of overdoing it, no?
Yeah, well, the whole point is, as Commissioner Motto relayed what Commissioner Parkin's concerns on, is that there are several tenants in all these buildings, and I don't particularly see the need to have one tenant have a monument sign out in front. No,
The
not
only-
at all.
Bill
And
Pollock.
Corporate Drive, it's a well-known location.
And I don't think we want to start doing that.
No.
Right.
I think you're
No,
right.
it's
I
not a
think you're-
precedent, that's for sure. You know, there's plenty of space on like a window, if they want to. Maybe
I
come
just-
back to the commission with that.
Not,
but-
not even that. I mean, if they say, well, they're at 2 or 1 Corporate Drive, I mean, it's well laid out and they go into the lobby, they can see where they are.
Yep.
And
Ms.
this is
Castro,
an indirect
whoever-
way of advertising.
Exactly. The big
Yeah,
ad.
Whoever has control of the visuals, could you put up the last one?
The street view?
No, keep going. What's number 4? That one. Where was that supposed to be?
I'll show you, I got it.
That doesn't look like it's what matches the front, the first one.
No, when
Or
it
page
is,
two.
The corporate.
Okay, now this is the last one is supposed to be in place of the Prudential one.
in place of it.
Okay. Buildings that have signs like that in front,
Yes.
has someone physically gone up there to confirm that?
Not to look for signs, but this, I go there.
No, I don't think there's any signs up there. I mean, Prudential, it looks like it blends in. It was done, and I hate to say the word, it was done with taste. But,
Yeah.
This isn't.
Their logo. Yeah.
I
Is
know it's their
Prudential-
logo. I understand that, but
No, I'm not, we're not recommending approval of this.
okay.
sign
We
sub-
have the applicant online if you have any questions.
Oh, good. I was just gonna ask. So would the applicant, representative, please, identify yourself for the
ABC Sign Corporation representing Subway. I'm very pleased to see that Subway selected Shelton for their Loretti and the staff, and Bob Cinto and his group for their efforts in bringing Subway to our city.
Yeah, that's, I agree with you, but could you please address the elephant in the room as to why the applicant is coming in with a request to have 2 monument signs out at the entrance to the.
Oh, sure.
Commerce
No,
Drive?
I just wanted to express my pleasure with Subway coming. The reason for the 2 signs, if you would go to the next page, please. Really to get a good placement for one sign that could be seen by the traffic on Progress Drive, 2 signs.
Who visits this
Miss-
site?
Mr. Bork, what building is Subway moving into?
They are moving into
They're back
one,
here.
if you look at,
It's one.
The
So
final-
those signs there are 3 and 4. Am I correct?
Yeah,
That
that's
is
why I
correct.
want the applicant to confirm for the record what building
Yeah.
the Subway is moving into.
oh yeah, corporate one, if you go to the next page.
Okay.
They're replacing, they're taking space on that building, and as somebody mentioned before, that was the Prudential sign, and we're just refacing it to put the Subway logo on. The 2 signs at the entrance to Corporate Drive were discussed with the Cintos, and they did not have a problem with the 2 signs. Sometimes there's an issue because if you give it to one tenant, then all the tenants want signs. But they assured me that that would not be the case. This would be a special they're doing for,
I think you're gonna open up
Subway
Pandora's
headquarters.
box.
I do too, because it's not just this building, it would be other buildings that are gonna be built or other corporate headquarters that would want signs, and they're gonna look at us and say, well, you let them do this here.
Yeah,
Who visits this particular office?
assured me that that would not be the case. This would be a special they're doing for.
I think you're gonna open up.
What's happening to the sound?
yeah, we have a delay there going on, or a repeat. Am I correct in hearing what the concerns of the commission are, and that the consensus would be we would not be in favor of this application in its entirety, or what?
Yeah,
I'm,
This is not a consumer-oriented location. This is a
Right.
corporate office facility.
Mhm.
And when people go to a corporate office facility, they have an address, they show up at the location and they find their office.
Yeah,
back,
And
Yeah, it's not like
to
this is
put
a
to put
retail
their name on a
company.
directory sign in the lobby or something else, but to
Mm-hmm.
put it on the exterior, you only begin, you basically are going to open up the door to a lot of people wanting to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to
Because-
destroy the corporate image of the facility.
this almost gives you the impression that there is a Subway retail outlet there that you can go in and get
That's sure what it
huge.
looks like.
Yeah, and that's not what we should be encouraging. Commissioner Mata, what was your feeling on this?
Well, that's exactly what our subcommittee had concluded. That was not everything that we've said. You know, it's not a retail store. People who go to work can find where they're supposed to go to work, or anybody dealing with them, I think, should be able to find it. And it just looks like a big advertisement.
Well, and I understand the efforts and whatnot of getting Subway into the building, but it's not their building. And where they were, it was their building. So they could have the sign, but this is not their building.
Commissioner Donato, what's your feelings on this?
My feeling is specific to what everybody's been saying. I was
Okay.
under the impression they were looking to have somebody come in and have a sandwich.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not in line. It's not in line with a corporate structure. As you've been saying, you go, you have an address, and you visit a corporate office. It's different. This is not in line with what we want to see around the city.
Okay, Commissioner Nafria, how about you?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. I might be a bit in the minority with this comment, but I agree with the street signs, the 2 street signs. I don't think it's necessary there, but having a corporate background such as myself, and when you're a national brand, there's a sense of pride when your employees come into an office space and they see their logo, as well as from the corporate perspective, the executives oftentimes are working and entertaining and bringing in business partners from around the world. Subway is a global brand. So I would not necessarily have a problem with the signage that's at the building. The 2 street signs, I definitely are in agreement with you folks. I don't think that's necessary, but as employees and executives and other business folks that they're looking to entertain and bring into the space, I personally would not have a problem with the sign on the building. I don't particularly like the sign that they chose, the white with the yellow and green. I know that's their logo, but I like the Prudential version, as Commissioner Kelly mentioned before. That was a little bit more tasteful and fit into the theme of the facade. So that was just my comment related to the signage.
Okay,
As
All
far
right, how
as may
Go
I
ahead.
ask a question? Sure.
sure, Mr. Bork, go ahead.
As far as the sign is concerned in front of the building, I have a couple of thoughts. I agree with you. Don't want anybody showing up and trying to order a sandwich there. If we spoke with the people at Subway, or Joe Delco's been dealing with them, he could help us out. If we had that, if we added Subway headquarters or world headquarters, something to ensure that people know that this is a corporate office and not a retail store, would that be more to your liking?
No, I think this is all overkill.
Where this particular complex has been home to a lot of national corporations of various kinds, and never once has anyone felt the need to advertise their location.
Except for
If
Prudential.
we were to allow one, there's no doubt in my mind you're going to have a lineup of a bunch of other people wanting to do similar identification signs.
Yeah.
And there's no need for it because they're addressed for the people that are going to be visiting. They're going to be well known. It's the corporate facility and where it is. You go inside the lobby and you find out where the office is, which is what you would have to do anyhow.
I
I've been to
don't
many
know how the
locations.
Prudential sign got approved.
It's totally
Not installed or
inconsistent with the
whatever.
corporate park.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's just refacing a sign that is already there.
Yeah.
I've been to many buildings where the quote unquote, the major tenant or the one with the most square footage in the building gets a sign out front. That's not unusual. I would like you to reconsider and letting Subway have a sign out in front of the building that replaces an existing sign. If you want me to, I can speak with Joe Delco and have him ask the subway people if they want to forego their logo colors and have something, as you said, something classier like the Prudential sign. Would you want me to do that?
Mr. Bork, who is the gentleman that you're referring to? And
Joe
what's his-
Delco is the person that our designers have been working with. He's a member of. the
He's
Central
fog
staff.
watch.
What
Yeah.
is the purpose of
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
sign?
wait, everybody. Mr. Bork, I still don't understand who is
Works
the,
for- He works for Cinto.
so, Mr. Panico, you were starting to say something?
What is the purpose of the sign?
It's ego.
It's funny.
It sure smacks of more advertising rather than here I am. This is where our offices are. It doesn't even say corporate offices.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's, and
Yeah.
it's totally inconsistent, and you're going to be opening the door for a variety of additional ones that are going to want to come.
A couple questions here about the sign that's on the screen right now. This is where you're saying this is replacing a Prudential sign, which was in exact same place. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Same size?
It's questioned whether
Inside.
that sign was ever legally authorized.
Yeah, that's a better looking. Yeah, I can't agree with that, any of those signs, frankly.
Okay. Commissioner Kelly, were you starting to say something?
No. You wanted
Okay.
to know about Mr. Delco.
Okay,
And he's
and,
part of the Cinto work staff there.
right. And Commissioner Amato, did you have something further to add?
Well, can we research whether that Prudential sign was approved at some point? Is
I
it
don't
what?
think personally that would have a bearing on it.
No,
No, it's.
yeah,
so-
I would say what they're presenting, this, the
Well,
white and yellow, no,
Right,
that is their logo, but
okay. On this particular application,
I'll make a motion to disapprove it,
to deny?
to deny, yeah.
Okay. There's a motion to deny the sign application for Subway 1 Corporate Drive from Commissioner Amato. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Okay, there's a second from Commissioner Donato and by Commissioner Donato. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Kelly?
I deny it, yes,
Okay, so you're aye to deny,
yes.
okay? Okay. Commissioner Donato,
Aye,
aye to
to
deny,
deny,
okay?
yes.
Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye, to deny.
aye to deny, okay? Commissioner Amato,
Aye, to deny.
okay? And the chair votes aye to deny. Motion to deny 0. Okay, thank you very much. Next thing on the agenda is I skipped the page. Hold on. Lost my place. Okay, so next is Woodside Plaza, 713 to 737 Bridgeport Avenue for a facade update. And Commissioner Mata, what's the recommend? Did you go over this?
No, this
No.
is not our, Sure.
That's on your purview. Okay. All right. So Mr. Rossetti, do you have some comments on this? Is the applicant online?
They are. Let me get on. You guys will remember this is, of course, the Diner Plaza that we
Yep.
reviewed off and on for a year or so last year. And they're coming in for an updated facade.
Okay, so is there somebody there from the applicant that could describe the treatment of the facade?
Yes, this is Don from Midland Development.
Okay, Mr. Stanzel, is that you?
Yes, and this is Don the third, and I'm with my father as well.
Okay, all right. Very good. So could you give us an explanation of what we see on the screen?
Yes, so this is the Woodside Plaza, the 3 buildings in the same plaza as Plaza Diner. They're looking to do the exterior facade of the other 3 buildings. The diner has already been recently updated. And we're looking to do stone veneer on the bottom with thin brick above and stucco on the top. So it'd be new parapets, new glass door, glass windows. And we didn't have a colored rendering, but I gave Alex the color information. We're looking to do it in a beige or almond trim and aluminum with natural stone and the same color brick, the tan brick that we used at Cedar Village. So the plan is to complement the diner, but not match it exactly. So in this building to the right of it, we'd be replacing the doors and windows with the stone veneer below, thin brick above, and stucco at the top, with new larger windows on the second floor as well. Getting rid of this, is this?
The mansard.
Yes,
Yeah.
getting rid of the mansards with a parapet and a new roof.
So it's really a whole new structural envelope, so to speak.
Yes, it's a facade, more like what was approved or what it went through, I believe, a year and a half, 2 years ago. They were removing the buildings. So we're gonna keep all the existing buildings just to make it, to redo the facade. It'll be a flat roof on the back, slanting away towards the back. And then it'll be the facade in the front matching, like you'll see there's on the right side, there's an elevator. The layout pretty much stays the same as what's on the original plans, except connecting the first building to the second building. There's going to be no foundation work. It's just,
You're going to connect.
No,
we are not.
no, they're not connecting, but that was the original plan, was to
Yes.
connect the 2 buildings with a complete new 2-story building. So instead, we're gonna leave the existing structures.
Okay,
The
so I've
first-
never been a one night.
The first building on the left closest to the diner will be adding an elevator to get access up to the second floor. Currently, there's no elevator in the building. So we'd be adding an elevator, exterior facade, and replacing the roof with a flat roof and new parapets.
Mhm. Okay,
We plan on using the same tan brick, thin brick, to match like what we did at the Cedar Village buildings on Howe Avenue. With the same tan siding at the rear, but the front and side elevations will be a dark tan stucco, tan thin brick with a natural stone.
and the brick is wrapping around on 3 sides?
Yes, because they're both of those, between each of those buildings, there's a walking path between the first 2. And then the
Absolutely.
second 2 buildings is the driveway. So we want to keep that new look around the sides and just replace the vinyl siding in the rear. With
Very good.
all,
What is that facade going to look like when you look down the alley? Is it going to look like a stage front that turns into a flat roof? Or is something being carried down the side?
so the same finishes that are on the front of the building will be carried around the side.
What
So-
about on the facade?
There'll be stone veneer, thin brick, and
No, but what I'm
stucco
saying
up.
is that design of the front facade is elevated above those existing roofs, isn't it? Portions of it?
Yes, it is. As will our
So
new.
does that
parapet.
stop at the front or does it go down the alleyway also?
I believe it would stop at the front because we would now have the flat roof pitched to the rear of the building with, you'd have a new parapet down the side with the stucco and the same veneers that are on the front, as opposed to having the roof wrap around like
Mhm.
it does currently.
They're not gonna be, Tony, they're not gonna be sticking up like the front. So wherever that line is on the side will follow to the back. But we'll keep the you know, the colors, the brick, the stone, everything the same.
I think
It's
you
just-
need to draw it up in order to get an impact from it.
Okay,
I think one of the confusing things is that these are all front elevations. and,
Yeah.
Was a side elevation prepared?
no, but I'll have Pat do it. And
The,
we'll attach it.
looking at the front, if you look at the roof line, I guess, between the projections, is that the existing roof line?
No, you're not gonna see the existing roof. The roof is lower than that. This goes up a little bit. So the roof is right behind it and then it'll pitch to the back. So we're not ripping the roof off, meaning the structure part of it. We're gonna rip the flat part and redo it the correct way. But all that roof that's existing right now that you see, the shingles of the parapet, that's all gonna come off, obviously, because this is
Yeah.
all. You know,
I
and
don't-
we'll,
Can I ask, I don't understand parapets. You don't have those currently on the building? I'm not seeing.
No, they're not there.
no,
So what are they for?
Design.
The architectural feature.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need it, we need some sort of parapet there to get the pitch for the roof. So that's
Okay.
why those parapets were designed in the front.
So,
You know,
There-
you've got a facility that's highly visible all the way around because a lot of parking is in the back as well as in the front. You see, you kind of have to look at what it's going to look like from all directions.
Mhm.
well, yeah, we understand that. I figured we'd make it look a little better than what was approved
Uh-huh.
a year and a half ago. I mean, to me, that was, and I don't think you approved it totally. I think we had to come,
Nothing,
They had
nothing finally got approved as far as I
Exactly.
recall.
well, I don't know. Yeah, it was approved for the building, but not, again, you have to come back in for the, you know, what you're looking for today, what we're looking. We just figured instead of ripping and demolishing all that, we could make these buildings look a lot nicer than they were. So
I
that's what
think,
we're looking
I
to do.
think
Yeah.
seeing the actual treatment of the end walls, if you would call them, I guess,
Uh-huh.
the sides, is very important.
Okay.
So I
So,
think
The one thing
Yeah.
that, when you look at this very quickly, it looks like the, a stage set that you would see in the old Western movies where it's just the front of the building and everything else
Right.
is false.
Right.
And that's what we just can't get a handle on,
well,
as to how it's
I
gonna
get
look from the side of the building.
Will the Commissioner Kelly, will
Okay.
the rear remain the same? Or is
The
that
rear
going to be
would-
treated as well?
well, I'm looking at I don't know, can we bring up the approved plans or you don't want to even know that?
Yeah,
I'm just-
that
we
would be a
I'm
good
looking
thing
at
to do.
We don't have those handy.
Oh, they don't have, you don't,
I mean-
okay. I'm looking at what was approved way back, you know,
For the record, we have to have everybody acknowledged if someone else is talking.
okay, so what was approved? It's Don Stanziel, Senior.
Mhm.
So what was approved, I'm looking at the back. And I understand, it shows siding, shows a small parapet, the sides, I mean, I'll redo what was approved. Again, I just figured the front, you wanted more than what originally was approved on the front.
there was a
think we
lot
have
of
an-
problem with the way that architectural stuff came in.
Exactly. I
Trying to
agree.
understand what it was they were trying to do. I actually do not recall it being approved, but I just may not have been at that meeting.
Yeah, it was. No resolution's ever been found. So whatever. You know what?
But
I'll have,
there is an action in the minutes somewhere that says it was approved, huh?
That would be
That's
the hint linchpin. All right,
Yeah.
so I
so
don't,
whatever.
Missing
I'll-
link.
okay, I don't think anyone has any
Go ahead.
issue with the design element
Yep.
as it appears here. It's just, how is that structure all going to tie together once the mansard roof is removed? And how is
We will-
it going to look?
We will get a side elevation and a rear elevation.
Good.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be very helpful.
But
Can I-
All right.
Can I,
You-
can
Go
I,
ahead,
can anybody
Commissioner
hear me?
Amato.
Um,
Go ahead.
so as you said, Jenny, this looks like an old Western where it's just a fake front, those,
Yep.
what are we calling them? Parapets.
Uh-huh.
Not to my taste, I gotta say, and I don't understand this statement about how you need them to, in order to have a pitched roof. So maybe that comes down to the side, looking at it also from the sides.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, I don't care for that appearance.
Okay.
The other parts, details, I think. Yeah,
Okay, for the applicant, I think if you're gonna have a side elevation done, would you do something that shows the front with the existing Plaza Diner on it? So we could see how it's supposed to tie in all together.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
So we don't redraw this. So now I'm getting different opinions on the front. So we don't like, because that's what was on even if you look at the original one was parapets, what do we call them, man?
Yeah.
They're parapets?
Uh,
So,
I remember sidewalk, how sidewalk worked on the bottom. I vaguely remember that part. There was a lot of work done on that topic.
Mhm. I think if we
change
see
in
this all
pitch.
together with the existing Plaza Diner, it would help put it in better perspective.
Well, this is Commissioner Kelly. Doesn't the parapets hide the mechanicals? Is there any
Yep.
mechanicals up on the roof?
Yes, it would hide the mechanicals on the roof and
That's
the
what I thought.
the elevator shaft has to overrun above the roof line, which is
Right,
that
correct.
parapet on the right. It's not a parapet, but that's the elevator shaft.
Yeah, it's
The right
almost
side
a
of it.
necessity to have something up there to hide all the mechanicals.
Correct. So the elevator overrun makes us need that one farthest to the right on the first building because that's the elevator shaft. So they match that height with the other.
See, I don't mind that. I
The
just
front
think that
facade
it looks
is in line.
good.
Yeah.
Is there a
It's
way
just
to have Pat draw in the colors too, if possible? The colors that you're going to use? I
yeah,
think that would make a heck of a difference too.
yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Side
have
and
to
rear.
understand, whatever may or may not have been approved 2 or 3 years ago is no longer valid because back then they were tearing the buildings down and building new buildings. You're now coming in and saying that's all behind us. We're going to rehab our existing buildings. That's 2 different projects.
Mhm.
No, I understand that, Tony, and I appreciate that. I just really didn't want, I really can't believe, I mean, I didn't like the other plans, to tell you the truth.
No one did.
Because-
I mean, I
Well,
sure
right,
should
so
say
this
that.
is what we're trying to do is go through. I understand what you're talking about, but if you also look down the street, for Commissioner, I think Elaine, you said it. If you look down, it's the same, it actually is consistent with what's on Bridgeport Avenue, very close. Because when we were going over with the owners of the diner, we pretty much, it looks like what's down the street or on the same street.
Yeah, this
It's
is
just,
Commissioner Kelly again. I think you're right, Mr. Denzel. As a matter of fact, Fountain Square, a lot of those buildings are basically the same
Right.
as you have here.
so
Yeah,
we
the
figured we
exterior
would,
treatment with the different towers. It's not.
But
one-
again, I just think if it was in a color form, it would be a better perspective.
Yep.
right. So, all right, so what we'll do is we'll,
Provide side elevations, a colorized version.
now
And one that
colors,
shows the
Yep.
Plaza Diner with this building. So we get a full perspective.
okay,
Is that
color,
stucco finish intended to look like masonry? Is that the whole idea?
yeah, drive it. It's gonna look like drive it.
Yeah.
Now, does it have to be a color rendering or a color using the color? Because that's the whole nother thing,
Colored elevation.
right? The colored elevations, all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think, the pattern that you have on those pictures now suggests strange things. So I think if we can get clarified a little bit more.
and how about, so I don't, the windows on the second floor? Because that's a look that is consistent with other buildings, is that, you see how those are all That's all glass. I just wanted to get some of the questions out, because once we have them, if you have any questions on the windows, on anything on this.
The
Well,
windows.
you know what,
I like
without
the
the
window.
Plaza Diner there, you can't, you have to constantly look at another screen to see what that looks like and how it's
Okay,
somewhat connected.
The northerly building, there's no second story to that.
no,
No,
No, the other two, no, it's just the one building.
But when you look at the elevation, it suggests that there is a second story.
it's just the facade.
Okay, then that's a facade that's going to create a stage front when you look at it from a side.
Mhm.
yep,
Yeah, that's why those side elevations are so important.
yep. So we'll have Rose Tiso do side elevations. We'll do a back. So we will get that.
Okay, so just so I understand, can we go back to your new rendering, your new elevation rather? Is the covered walkway still going to be a covered walkway? Because you're taking the roof off of it. Are you creating another roof to replace it, a flat element there, or what?
I'm sorry, on the front of the building, Tony?
Yeah,
No,
if I
There
were to
is no
stand in
covered
front of one of
walkway
those
at the-
front
at the
lower
time.
level windows, is there a roof over my head or not?
no,
No.
it's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, there's a sidewalk that goes from Plaza Diner all the way down to DJ's Pizza. There is no cover over that.
It's
There
very
isn't?
little. It's a little, there's no cover. It's
Yeah.
just a look that's,
It's a
Okay.
reveal, that's all it is, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
It's a 16-inch reveal on the man side.
right. And actually, the
definitely
windows.
a step in the right direction, but we need a lot more detail.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well-
Mr. Panico, this is not covered as you would see up at Shelton Square. If you were walking after, from, the pizza place, all to the corner and then down to where the liquor store is. That's a covered walkway. This is not like that at all.
No,
Mhm.
no.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, does the applicant understand what we're looking for?
yes,
Okay. All right, is there a motion to table this particular application?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All right.
Commissioner
so
Kelly.
there's Motion to
Commissioner-
table.
Commissioner Nafriello, second. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So on the motion, Commissioner Motto?
Aye.
Okay, Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Donato,
aye,
Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion to table is passed by a vote of 5-0. Okay. All right, next on the agenda is old business, and the first item is review and discussion of application 2213. Dominic Thomas at 453 River Road, Assessors Map 66, lots 3 and 4 on 8.25 acres in R3 and CA2 zoning for a PDD and initial development plan approval for 152 apartments with on-site parking. Public hearing for this application opened on August 17th, 2022. And during which time the commission heard the proposal and a traffic impact study, and several members of the public spoke. At the continuation of the public hearing on October 26, 2022, the commission heard an explanation about the revised site plan from the applicant's engineer, and 4 members of the public spoke. The continuation of the public hearing on March 15th of 2023, the applicant's engineer reviewed a change to the location of the building, a change to circulation in the parking lot and building elevations, and the commission presented questions on the efficiency of the exterior building material, if any rooftop solar panels were planned, if energy efficient systems would be used, the location of HVAC units for each apartment, whether EV stations were planned. Representative of a real estate development and management company submitted and discussed information on the financial impact that the requirement for affordable housing units would have on this development. At the continuation of the public hearing on April 26th, Mr. O'Leary, who I believe is the project and architect, reviewed the materials for retaining walls and a letter discussing affordability impacts. Mr. Panico posed questions about the location of the River Road entrance signs, sewer line location, lack of rear access to buildings from the parking lots. The commission then voted to close the public hearing. I'll start the discussion about this application, and I very strongly feel that using this entire parcel for a residential use is inappropriate. River Road is a commercial corridor, and I feel a commercial project for the portion of the property fronting River Road would be more suitable. I feel a residential use similar to the townhomes on the other side of Quorum Road on Catherine Court, Morningside Court, Rivendell Drive, with access only to and from Quorum Road, would be a more suitable use for the rear portion of the property. So I'm not totally ruling out a residential use. I just don't feel that the 5 buildings would be appropriate for the entire property. How does the rest of the commission feel? Commissioner Kelly, do you have any comments you want to share?
Yeah, I like the project. I don't see really anything wrong with it. We have approved other projects that are on the River Road.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, for the land, so on and so forth. I thought they did a good job. I would approve the project.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Commissioner Onofrio,
Yeah,
Commissioner
Go ahead,
Amato,
Commissioner
go
Amato.
ahead.
I'll go. I agree with Commissioner Kelly, basically. I think, you know, I get what you're saying about the commercial nature of the road, but I don't know that we need really more commercial spaces. And we do have other purely residential projects on the River Road. Yeah, and I think they did a lot of modification of the plans along the way that suited our desires. And I think overall it looks good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Commissioner Onofrio, you were going to start to speak up?
Yeah, no, I like the design and the layout. I personally don't have an issue with the project or the location. I think you know, a little bit of mixed use properties on River Road there is appropriate to support some of the retail businesses that are down there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Commissioner Donato, are you familiar with the project that you want to?
I've driven by there a couple of times. I question all these developments along River Road as far as the infrastructure goes. How much traffic can we hold there? Is it going to, what does it do to the general, to the natural part of Shelton? And I'm just curious, how much can we build on River Road? Are we just going to keep on building down there, whether it's commercial or whether it's housing? How much can it hold? The way it's, that's my only question.
Well, Mr. Kelly, you know, to answer maybe one of your questions is that whether you build it to what the zoning is or you get a PDD, a person bought the property and he's paying taxes on the property, and whatever goes there, if he's doing it according to what the zone tells him he can, he has a right to do it. I mean, you know, you can't just leave vacant land unless the city buys it, and the city's not going to buy it. This here is, you know, there's 4 or 5 buildings, and it's not one big or 2 big buildings that a lot of people are housed in, and you have a separate entrance and exit from either Quorum Avenue or the River Road. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
Okay. Mr. Panico, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a PDD.
Yes,
And this is not an as of right application.
no,
So,
it is a PDD. Relative to the River Road traffic, there was a traffic report provided which indicated that there was capability of supporting it.
okay,
This Commissioner Donato again.
go ahead.
As far as I keep on hearing traffic reports, Everybody who's building on River Road supplies a traffic report. How is that put together? Is that taking into consideration all the types of development that's coming in, or just that particular development?
No,
You follow my,
No, it's
a
individual.
valid,
Go
a
ahead.
valid traffic report would take into account any and all projects that have been approved, not yet built. Those counts and those impacts are included in their traffic report.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know. I didn't know.
That's a requirement for the traffic report.
Okay.
Okay, and Mr. Panico, what is the book that, the reference guide that all the traffic engineers refer to? Isn't there something that gives some certain standards or something, or that has been cited in the past?
Not sure what you're referring to.
Okay, I thought there was something that was the some kind of guide that was used for
Well,
traffic
they
impact studies.
use standards that are established for this type of analysis. They all use, I think, the same standard.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
They're
it's been referred to in the
As far
past.
as the
Very-
amount, the volume of traffic that would be expected on a per unit basis, yes, there are national standards that they use.
Okay. All right, any further comments, questions or concerns about this particular application? Okay, looking at when this particular application was heard, Commissioner Onofrio, do you feel that you're familiar enough with the application to vote on whether or not we have a consensus?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. All right, so on this particular
Madam Chair,
application, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask one question from for the commission. If they had a preference over the alignment of the driveway entering the facility from River Road. Staff received a sketch of, so I won't show this sketch, but what I'll do is I'll just bring up a map of the area. So we received a sketch showing a realignment of the driveway to have an intersection with the street directly across from the development, and I'm blanking on the name.
The
of the
Jordan
road.
Avenue,
Is that what it is?
I know
Yes.
it's in that vicinity. Or Wakely,
Here, I got it. Yes, yep, you're right on.
It initially came in directly opposite that street when the original site plan had a building to the right and the left. If you recall one of your earlier proposals, the recreational building was on the right as you entered.
That's correct.
Now the recreational building was relocated as a part of the other site improvements that were suggested. And the driveway, therefore, to stay with the same internal configuration, had to shift to the right. And now that took it off of coming out opposite Jordan Avenue. So the question is, they showed us an alternative entrance location that would maintain the Jordan Avenue relationship. And I think what Alex is asking is, the commission have any preference one way or the other?
Well, where would that come in? Would that come in more towards the clubhouse?
No, at the present time, they've showed, when I brought up the issue of the offset intersection and whether or not the traffic engineer had anything to say about it,
Right.
their answer was, we're moving the entrance. And they moved the entrance opposite Jordan Avenue. Now, Alex and I are asking, does the commission have any?
No, what I want to know is that what in the front of River Road, the entrance that they opposite Jordan Avenue, where would that be within the layout of what they have right now?
It comes directly in front of one of the apartment buildings.
Is
Okay,
my
Mr.
screen
Rossetti,
showing?
can you please bring up the last site plan?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's a good idea.
Is my screen showing? No?
Do you see a Google Earth
Yeah.
map?
Oh, no, I have the site plan up. Why isn't that showing? Let me
I
try
don't
this.
know.
Sorry about that.
That's your problem, not mine.
Yeah, okay, give me 1
We
second.
were
Let me-
wondering about that.
No, I have it up. Let me just refresh this page. Sorry. Okay.
It's been moved right in front of building number 4 now.
Yep. I got it. I'm just,
It's in the bottom
Refreshing.
right corner, isn't it, Mr.
Okay.
Panico? According to
Uh,
the-
Not
Take
at the
2.
corner, halfway.
how's this?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, that's
This was
the,
that was the original,
That's
that
the
was the
original one,
original
right.
proposal.
Yeah, the clubhouse is in the middle
I've
right
got
now, isn't it?
Yes, now the clubhouse is in the middle.
right.
Don't you have those plans?
Yes,
Okay,
that's what I was originally showing. Here, I'll go back to
No.
it.
let's make sure we're just looking at the last,
Yeah, because that's too confusing.
Okay,
yeah, we want the last version.
okay.
Ye-
Don't know why I wasn't loading for you guys. Okay.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Okay.
That's good because we can discuss what's happened. This is where it was when I brought up the question. Did the traffic engineer have any commentary about moving that entrance away from directly opposite Jordan to where it's shown?
Right.
And their answer then to us was to provide us with a plan showing the entrance moved back opposite Jordan Avenue. The result is when you get on the site, you then have to elect to either turn left or turn right. You can't just go straight in.
Okay. Well, that's right. The other one, you just go straight in or turn left, one or the other.
Right.
Correct.
So Rossetti,
Correct.
can you zoom out from this?
What was that? I'm sorry.
I was wondering if Mr. Rossetti could zoom out from this because there's, yeah, a lot more in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, to get a better perspective.
Yeah.
Not only that, but before we leave this, the entrance that he's shown here subsequently was improved to provide an exiting exclusive right turn lane.
Mhm.
Yep.
So if you guys don't have a strong opinion, that's okay. We can move forward with, their engineering recommendations. If you feel strongly about one way or the other, I just wanted to
I
feel
don't
that
know.
out.
I really don't think I'm qualified for
This is,
that.
this is Commissioner Onofre. I'm just curious from Anthony, Mr. Panico's perspective. What's the advantage of not having the straight in versus having to choose to go left or right? Is there a planning or engineering reason, or is it just?
Well, if
Preference.
if I were a resident of the upper level, building 1 or 2, and I was entering at the River Road entrance, I would normally go straight ahead by the back of the buildings up to the upper level and find my unit.
Right.
Now I have to come in, make a right turn, and then go around the buildings and up. It's not impossible. It's not totally unreasonable.
The
So
zigzag
actually,
would be awkward.
what you're saying is that we should leave it the way it is. Am I correct in saying that?
I'm sorry, say that again, John.
I said we should leave it the way it is.
That's fine. My preference would be to leave it the way it is, provided
Yeah.
the traffic engineer says we're not going to create an adverse condition because of the offset from Jordan Lane. I
don't
just
see
want
how
them
you
to
would.
tell us that because their
there's-
traffic report is
there's other
predicated on the
streets that-
entrance coming in opposite Jordan Lane.
I don't know, there's other entrances and exits from buildings and, with the streets not being opposite one another or across from one another. I think it's the most logical one is what you said, is keep it at the end and you can go straight up.
Mr. Rossetti, can you pull that particular visual up so we could see what's below River Road? Or does it end there? I'm trying to figure out what the bottom left corner where we see 2 lanes and the arrows keep going to the right. And
To the right.
down, oh, too much. Go back.
Yeah.
Right there. See that you have 2, is that going into the shopping center?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
Alright.
lower level complex.
Yeah, that's the
Two
shopping.
two
center.
buildings.
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, I would think that if they were gonna line anything up, they would line it up opposite the shopping center. Or maybe
No,
that's.
no, they're
that
not
would work.
impacting the shopping area at all.
Yeah,
No.
because you have Santos Plaza right next to it, and that's another entrance, so,
Right, that's Santos Plaza
Yeah.
that you're looking at.
yep, so thinking about that, that wouldn't work. Okay. Right, is there any further
Right.
comments, questions, or concerns?
I'm
for
at the
this
meeting. I
particular
have to
one?
call you back.
Any further comments, questions, or concerns about this application? Okay, well, it would appear that staff can prepare a resolution on this particular application for action at an upcoming meeting.
If,
Yep.
from what perspective? From the perspective of an approval or a denial? I've heard comments both ways here.
Approval.
I would think that the consensus of the 5 is 4-1 for approval.
Okay. So you're asking, so then staff should prepare a favorable resolution.
Yeah,
And if you don't agree with it, you can just turn it down.
exactly, as we
I-
have in the past.
I suspect this may be one where we prepare something and then we have a meeting to discuss what's been prepared. And then go from there, so,
Sure.
Well, everybody isn't here too, so
yeah.
effective.
Yeah.
Again,
to,
if I, as Commissioner Donato, I think something this big deserves as much discussion as possible.
mhm,
You know, it's just, it's a huge project. It's gonna have a tremendous impact on the city in that particular neighborhood. So I
mhm.
think we should definitely talk it as much as we can, make sure we get it right.
Okay, yeah, it has been on numerous agendas. It's gone through some revisions. So this seems to be the final approach. As I indicated at the beginning of my comments, I am not in favor of this particular project. I don't think it has anything good going for it. I think it's too many apartments. And just because it is close to something else that we have approved, we have to always look at each individual application separately. And so, but I think staff is ready to move on for that.
Just before you go, what did we decide about affordable housing? on
Oh.
this?
Good thought, Commissioner Amato. Mr. Panico, we have the affordable housing plan. We're up to 152 apartments in this, correct?
152, Chris.
Okay, and let me pull up my,
If I can remember, again, as Commissioner Donato,
It's 18%.
that if,
Oh, 18 units, let's see, 122%.
152, right?
oh, do you have it, Commissioner Amato? That's good. Oh, Commissioner Perkins, you have
22%.
just joined us? I'm just waiting for Commissioner Perkins to get her audio
Okay.
going.
That would be 33 or 34, 33 or 34 units.
Yeah,
Okay.
that could be distributed amongst the 4 buildings.
Right.
That's,
Their offer was 10%.
Well,
That was
did?
then, and this is now, as I said before. We have an affordable housing plan. So,
Commissioner
Park-
Haga, yes.
yeah, let me just,
Commissioner Donato?
Commissioner Donato, hold on a minute. Commissioner Parkins,
Fine.
can you hear us?
I can,
Oh,
finally.
okay. I wasn't too sure if you, all right. So I just.
I
wanna
wasn't able to
acknowledge-
at first, but I can
Okay.
now.
All right, I just want to acknowledge for the record that Commissioner Parkins joined us at 7:17 PM. All right, so Commissioner Donato, you were saying such?
If I remember correctly, when we met with them last time, when they spoke to us, they were not looking to give us even the 10%. It was like pulling teeth. So I don't know where we go with them on this. This is going to be a serious issue.
Mr. Pianico, do you recall anything along that line? What,
Yes, he did say something rather strong. Let me see if I can.
oh, is that because of the letter?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, yeah, well,
What letter?
the letter that expert
Right.
submitted from Hartford, he's Rocky Hill or somewhere up in that neighborhood.
Yes, right. He made
it would-
reference to that letter.
That it wouldn't be viable financially? Was
Yeah,
that? or we
here it
wouldn't-
is. It's Continental Global Ventures LLC in Rocky Hill, dated March 15th. I'm sure it's on the website. It was talking about in the past year, they had obtained zoning approvals in Milford, Monroe, West Hartford, and they were going to have the inclusionary affordable units approved that were required in each of the developments was 10% Milford, 10% Monroe, and 5% in West Hartford. And
Text
I'm doing a sheet rock right now.
yeah, they were giving some,
You want to text me?
there is somebody that's not on mute that we can hear. So they were talking about the different percentages and setting rental units, setting the monthly rental rates. So,
Excuse me, Commissioner Harger,
yes,
how many affordable housing units were there?
I don't have they
Someone
were,
said 22?
22% is what our plan requests for 100 to 200 units.
Where,
what page is that on?
yeah, I'm on page 24. And it's
Yeah.
18% would be 20.
Not 18%, it's 22%.
Where's it say that? That's what I wanted to know.
Column, percent of affordable units. The number of units, left-hand column, the percent is the
Oh.
next,
What page is that? Do you know?
what it would come out to.
No, I wanted to know what page it was. And
Page 24.
24 is 200 at 18%.
No,
I mean-
it's not. It's 22%. The percent is in the second column. Yep, the number of units is in the first column on the left. The next
That's correct.
is the percent that we're asking.
Yeah, I know that number of okay, percent, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, the number, percentage of affordable units, that's what you're looking at, right? And the first one would be 6, 10%, 10%. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, so for
Okay, so go down to 200. What's it say?
at 100 to 200 units, we're asking for 22% affordable.
Well, I got a
Mr.
different
Betty,
page
could you
than you
pull
got
up the
there.
affordable housing plan where it shows the percentages? Thank you.
Commissioner Harger, can I just ask what application you're on?
We are on
2213?
application 2213, the first item under old business.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So remember, this is a guide for us as we evaluate these developments.
That's
These are not-
correct.
hard and fast
That's
rules
18%.
for,
It's 18%. Where's the 22%? That's what I wanted to know.
Move
The
it, move it up.
second column on that chart on page 24.
Yeah, well, there's 24 in front of you.
Alex, move
Go-
the
go
chart
down.
up so we could see the second.
Go down.
one.
Oh, you
Okay.
gotta move it up.
All right, it's done. Stop moving it. Okay, perfect. All right, Commissioner Amato, are you referring to the top chart or the bottom chart?
Bottom chart and the top one's the same, so not a
Yeah, they're
problem.
both the same.
I
Yeah.
think,
This says 18%. If you're more than 200 units, 101 is 18, over 100 and one is 18%.
Right,
Okay,
which would be
What-
27.
okay, this is Commissioner Donato again.
yep,
Yeah.
This, we might have ended up with 18%, but at one point, 22% was our objective.
Well, this one was, this is the one that was approved by the board of
Yeah,
board.
This is the one that was
That's where I
approved.
wanna go.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
even taking, I could guarantee you, even with the 18%, we're debating amongst ourselves because we have to get it from them. I know this is a guide, but they're not looking to give more than 10%, even if
Yeah.
they're willing to give that much. Let's understand that from the get-go.
We understand.
So where are we going here? They're gonna come in and they're gonna tell us something, and we're not gonna agree with them on it.
That's the
Okay.
chance that they take.
That's it.
At the time that they made application, there was no official affordable housing report.
That is correct too.
Mhm.
That's all
So,
right.
so we're talking about 15 units versus 27 units.
Right.
So we would most likely have to come up with a recommendation as to what number do we want for the number of affordable housing units.
Chair Harger, may I?
I was just going to ask Commissioner Parkins if you had any comments. Go ahead.
I didn't know if the a replacement, an alternate has been sitting in for me, but I just, I don't know how long the conversation's been going on, but are you folks considering are you also adding in the condominium units to make what
Oh,
you're
this-
basing how many affordable on, or just the apartments?
These are, that's not this project.
This is the project across from Hook, Line and Sinker.
We're talking about a rental.
My
Yeah.
apologies, my
That's
apologies.
okay.
All right.
Okay,
River
So-
Road, Dominic Thomas, it's.
yep. That's the Marina project. Okay, so,
Different project.
We're not there
Um,
yet.
all right, let me just clarify for the record that Commissioner Onofrio was seated for Commissioner Parkins. Commissioner Parkins is here. And let's see.
I'm fine.
No,
if
no,
Commission-
I'm sorry. Commissioner Onofrio was seated for Commissioner Lascos. So now that you are here, Commissioner Parkins, you can comment in on anything. And Commissioner Onofrio still maintains his seat.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Did you have any comments about this? The number of affordable units?
So where there, what would, they were proposing 10%, which would be 15?
Right.
Is that what they proposed, if I recall?
Yes.
And we're looking for 22?
No,
27,
the 18%
according to our chart.
would come up with 27 units. That's what's the recommendation on the chart that's in our affordable housing plan.
So that's a difference of 12 units.
Yes. So should we split the difference? And
I was
say-
just gonna make that recommendation. Because,
Right.
if you think about it, we did warn all these folks that we were looking at this plan. But they did submit the application prior. I mean, they were in the queue. They were fortunate that they were in the queue, but it doesn't mean that we can't do some sort of, we need more, but maybe not the full amount.
Right.
There
Yeah.
also are no
Like
extra,
21.
really, there's no amenities here, from what I understand, right?
Just the pool.
Well,
And
I mean,
this-
for the public, right? Like no public, if this is totally private and,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so what about taking that into consideration, where we have a difference of 12 units? Would you want to ask staff to include a I can't talk tonight. In the in the resolution for 18 affordable housing units.
I think it would be 15 plus 6 if we split the difference, right?
The
You're
21.
right.
Oh, I'm sorry, 15 plus
6.
21.
6.
Yeah.
So it's 21. That's even better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will just add, the last comments again, and we're more than happy to work with the commission however you'd like. I know to voice the opinion of the applicant again was they submitted before the plan was adopted. They would prefer to do less than 10%. In their letter, they had said that any affordable units help us add to our inventory, which is true.
Mhm.
Does it close the ratio on 10%? Yes and no. There's different ways to look at it. But you guys have to take these on as you see them. So we're happy to write it up however you'd like.
You'll see when we deal with two other projects that came in beforehand that we were imposing some additional requirement, but we were leaving the door open for them to gain some density, so as to help them economically offset the added burden. In this particular case, there is no way to add any units.
Mhm.
These buildings are firm, they're fixed. You can't redesign them and start adding units.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
whatever burden you put above 10% is going to be strictly a burden on them.
Mhm. And that's the chance that they take.
We're not in a position to really analyze the finances of this, but every single applicant is always going to say they can't afford to do it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
maybe,
Every other applicant, you could say, look, before you applied, you knew this was a requirement.
well, I don't think we're going too far off.
No,
Okay.
no. All right, so what's the consensus of the commission? Are we going for a resolution that would include 21 affordable housing units?
I would go for that.
You're okay with that, Elaine?
Yeah.
What was that you mentioned, Chairman?
21 affordable housing units? Okay, Commissioner Kelly, what do you think?
Well, I would go for it, but the only thing I would do is that in order to make it equal, I would go for 20, which would allow 5 in each building instead
Mhm.
of 21. But that's here and there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be distributed equally in the buildings. They don't
No,
have to be in
I
any
know that,
particular
but
location.
Elaine, that's just me. Everything has to be equal.
It's divisible by.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Commissioner Parkins?
Yeah, I actually was thinking along those lines too. I just think we have to be careful. We have to have some rhyme or reason to what we're doing because they're all gonna say they can't afford it. Those that can put in additional units are still not going to want to give us the amount that we're looking for. They're going to still want to stick with the 10%. So I think we have to have, valid reasons why. And I think the fact that, this application did come in, it was probably pretty rushed coming in to get in before the moratorium was put out. So that was a risk that they took, right? Getting in, not really knowing how the commission was going to be headed with this. But I think it's a fair compromise to split it in half. But I would also be amenable to going down to 20.
Okay, so 2021, you're comfortable with.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Onofrio?
Yeah, same. I think, obviously based on the affordable housing plan that's been adopted is we're looking for more. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And give them the benefit of the doubt. They got the application in ahead of time. Let's see what we can do to work together to come up with a amenable number. And I'm good with 2021. I think that's a fair number.
Okay, and Commissioner Donato?
21 is the number.
Very good. Short and sweet. Okay. All right, Mr. Panico, so that you'll work with staff about drawing up a resolution?
Yeah, we can start working something up.
Yeah, you have the, next month it probably, this is June, so July, we can have it on the agenda for review and discussion. And as somebody had commented, we had, until Commissioner Parkins came in, we had 2 regular commissioners not with us right now. So, okay, is everybody ready to move on to the next agenda item?
Yep.
All right, so next is application 2217, PDD number 91, Langanke's Landing, Dominic Thomas for Langanke's Landing LLC at 1055 Bridgeport Avenue, Assessors Map 2, Lot 8, on 1.7 acres for initial development plan approval for 62 apartments with 77 initial on-site parking spaces and 16 deferred and installed as needed. After a discussion of this proposal at our May 10th meeting, the commission authorized staff to prepare a favorable resolution that was sent out to everyone on the commission. So Mr. Panico, would you read over the resolution, and I'll ask the commission to just hold any questions until the end, and then we have a motion for discussion.
All right. So we're talking about application 2217, the petition of Langanke's Landing LLC for approval of modified initial development plans for PDD number 99 and adoption of an amendment to Plan Development District 99 for the elimination of the commercial mixed-use development, replacing it with the proposed development of residential apartment units. And this is at 1055 Bridgeport Avenue, which also has some frontage on Huntington Street. By way of background, the petitioner proposes to amend the existing PDD 99, which encompasses a 1.73 acre site fronting on the northwest side of Bridgeport Avenue and extending through to Huntington Street. The site is positioned in a transitional use area bordered by an office facility on the southeast side and on the northwest side by an extended stay hotel and a single-family home fronting on Huntington Street. On the opposite side of Bridgeport Avenue, we have the Route 8 Expressway, and on the opposite side of Huntington Street, we have Isinglass Road intersection, a vacant R1 lot, and land of the Aquarian Water Company. The site itself is about 300 feet northeast of the Huntington Street intersection and the southbound entrance ramps to the Route 8 Expressway. The property is currently occupied by an existing house and florist shop, plus related extensive greenhouse structures with access from Bridgeport Avenue, as well as 2 driveways from Huntington Street. The adopted PDD 99 includes approved initial development plans for a 3-building commercial development, one of which is a convenience store and gas station facility. The subject application as submitted proposes to replace that commercial development with a single building housing 62 residential apartments and supporting on-site parking. The property is currently owned by the applicant, Langanke Landing LLC. The application as submitted indicated a proposed building consisting of 4 floors of apartments over ground level parking. The unit mix included 16 2-bedrooms, 28 1-bedrooms, and 18 studios and 106 parking spaces, 16 of which were proposed to be deferred. The proposed building height at the time of application was approximately 57 feet. Initial development plans for the proposal as submitted consists of site plans entitled Amended Initial Development Concept Plans, Plan Development District, Langanke's Landing, 1055 Bridgeport Avenue, Shelton, Connecticut, prepared by Nowakowski, Obimichow and Kane Associates, Civil Engineering and Surveying, dated May 26th of 2022, and untitled preliminary architectural elevations and typical floor plan of the proposed building. This is the way the application came in originally. Also submitted was a traffic generation comparison of the approved convenience store and gas station to the residential proposal. The commission convened a duly noticed public hearing on September 21 of 2022, which hearing was continued to November the 16th of 2022 and completed on January the 18th of 2023. During the hearings, the commissioners made several inquiries and raised concerns relative to the proposed building height, the adequacy of the landscape strip along Huntington Street frontage, the building orientation, the entry drive location and its design, the sidewalks and proposed location of the bus stop on Bridgeport Avenue, rubbish disposal, electric vehicle charging stations, and provisions for affordable housing. Public comments from 5 individuals were received, including a representative of the Beaver Lake Association of the town of Stratford, who were supportive of the subject proposal and the elimination of the previous gas station proposal. The adjoining property owners commented on the access drive location and the need for adequate privacy fencing. A concern was raised regarding environmental impact, and another comment was supportive of apartments rather than the original gas station proposal. The applicant's representatives assured the commission they will carefully consider and attempt to address all concerns raised by the commission and the public. The engineer described the proposals being made to alleviate any off-site impacts from stormwater drainage discharge, citing provisions to enhance water quality runoff and storage before discharge into the public storm drainage system. For pedestrian safety and convenience, a sidewalk will be provided along the Bridgeport Avenue frontage and will connect with the bus stop, as well as the proposed on-site sidewalk system. Following the November 16, 2023 continuation of the public hearing, preliminary solutions and changes were incorporated onto a revised and updated site plan dated January the 2nd of 2023, addressing the commission's concerns and reflecting a density reduction to 52 units. Those plans were presented to the commission for further review and comment at the January 18, 2023 public hearing continuation and completion. The commission, as a result of the earlier review preceding the adoption of PDD 99, was well aware and knowledgeable about the site, physical circumstances, the site vicinity, as well as possible plan modifications as shown on the latest plans revised January 2nd, 2023, and has discussed and reviewed in detail the modification of the initial development plans, and has considered how the site is now proposed to be developed, and notes the following observations and findings. Finding number 1. As noted earlier, land uses in the vicinity are mixed. The adjacent office complex to the south was developed under the provisions of PDD number 5, while the extended stay hotel on the north was authorized under the provisions of PDD number 8. Initial development plans for the subject site were recently approved for mixed-use commercial development under PDD 99. However, for a variety of reasons, the original mixed-use concept was not realistically marketable, except for the proposed gas station and convenience store. Denial of the subject proposal modification may result in the development of only the gas station and convenience store component of the current PDD 99. The proposed PDD modification continues to allow the city to know in advance the specifics of a proposed development and also provides the commission with an element of control over its design and intensity. Number 2, the subject site is roughly rectangular in shape with approximately 284 feet of frontage on Bridgeport Avenue and 214.4 feet on Huntington Street. At present, there is a total impervious lot coverage of 52%, with buildings and extensive paved parking areas and access drives in support of the existing florist shop and the greenhouses related thereto. The site is elevated slightly above Bridgeport Avenue and has relatively gentle grades. Some minor regrading of the site is necessary to achieve uniform grades to accommodate the proposed multifamily residential rental development. The proposed layout of buildings, parking, and related drives results in an increase in impervious surface coverage to approximately 71%. Full utility services are available in Bridgeport Avenue, and all on-site utility lines will be located underground. All site access from Huntington Street will be eliminated under the proposed PDD modifications. 3, in an effort to respond to concerns raised during the ongoing public hearings of September 21 and November 16, 2022, primarily in regards to site organization and footprint size, the applicant has prepared modifications to his original proposal to address those concerns for the commission to consider and comment. These modifications are shown on site plans as revised January 2nd, 2023, and were offered for consideration at the hearing of January 18th, 2023. The primary changes were relative to the potential removal of the ground level parking beneath the building to reduce the building height and a reduction of the building footprint to better fit on the site. This resulted in a density reduction from 62 units to 52 units. There is an error in the tabulation of required parking, and an additional 10 spaces will be needed. The proposed parking standards are intended to be consistent with those set out in the Shelton zoning regulations. The visitor parking requirement is 1 space for each 2 apartments and is rather generous. The parking calculation results in the need for 26 visitor spaces, which are likely well in excess of what may be realistically necessary. Therefore, it would be reasonable if the additional 10 spaces needed are simply treated as deferred spaces until there's a demonstrated need for them. Accordingly, locating them in the vicinity of the designated picnic patio area may be an acceptable solution. The basic architectural features and exterior materials are essentially the same as shown on the initial building design. The architectural materials, as revised to January 10, 23, include detailed floor plans, elevations, and a cover sheet rendering to illustrate the design and appearance, plus specifics as to exterior materials. Further details may be required with the future preparation of the detailed development plans for submission. They will need to address all final concerns and revisions as well as adjustments required as specific architectural designs are finalized. The exterior materials are primarily vinyl clapboard and cedar siding with central feature of thin stone masonry veneer at the entries. Pitched roofs and gables will have fiberglass shingling. Additional consideration is needed with respect to expanding the areas of the thin stone masonry veneer. Right now, it's concentrated at the entries, and it may be desirable to expand that a little bit. Also, further changes may be needed to address outstanding concerns of the commission. The final landscape plan will address the entire site, including the significant area of road right-of-way adjacent to Bridgeport Avenue. The preponderance of proposed landscape materials shall be of native species. 4, the applicant's initial application was for 62 apartment units, with a proposal to set aside 10% or 6 units as affordable housing units. In response to commission concerns about site organization, building footprint, etc., the applicant prepared and submitted a plan modification that would shrink the building footprint and improve site layout, but it would result in a density reduction from 62 units to 52 units, of which 5 would need to be set aside as affordable units. In its deliberation on the application, the commission noted that its recently completed affordable housing plan recommends that for a development of this size, about 14% should be earmarked as affordable units, and therefore 7 units should be set aside as affordable. The commission recognizes that this was unknown to the applicant at the time of application, and that it may be possible for the applicant to modify the first floor layout and or alter the unit mix to slightly to achieve additional density, providing it can be done without change in the size and exterior design of the proposed building. After reviewing the first floor layout, it is noted that if a partial basement is incorporated, it would be possible to relocate the electric room and sprinkler rooms and the WeWork space to that basement area. And that would thereby free up enough floor area to create 3 additional units and achieve a density of 55 units. The commission finds that such a modification is acceptable and will assist in offsetting some of the economic impact of the 2 additional affordable units. The 55 unit total is still well below the 62 units initially requested in the application. 5, a traffic comparison of this revised proposal versus the original approved PDD 99 was compiled and submitted by the applicant, indicating a substantial reduction of peak hour flows. In addition, the elimination of the Huntington Street driveways will result in the elimination of any traffic impacts on Huntington Street. Accordingly, it is anticipated that there will be no negative impacts to the levels of service along Bridgeport Avenue and Huntington Street in the vicinity of the site, as well as to the nearby intersection of Bridgeport Avenue, Huntington Street, Shelton Road, Huntington Road. To improve operations at the site exit driveway to Bridgeport Avenue, resulting from exiting vehicles attempting to make left turns, the driveway design has been improved with a median divider with exclusive lanes for left and right turns onto Bridgeport Avenue. 6, the statement of uses and standards will require some minor modification and clarification to reflect the final commission action on the proposal. Any revision to a maximum density of 55 will need to be reflected in the statement of uses and standards, as well as the required set aside of not less than 7 affordable housing units. Specific provisions should be included for the ongoing cleaning and maintenance of the stormwater management facilities to assure that the stormwater discharge from the developed site does not adversely impact downstream areas, in particular, the quality of Beaver Dam Lake. The provisions for the ongoing maintenance must be assured, the provisions for ongoing maintenance must assure frequent cleaning during the construction phase and a specific schedule for regular ongoing cleaning and maintenance after completion and occupancy. At the conclusion of its extensive review and discussions of the application, it was the consensus of the commission to authorize staff to prepare a favorable resolution for their consideration and action, reflecting the commission's request for 7 affordable housing units and establishing a maximum density not to exceed 55 units. On the basis of the commission's findings and concerns noted above, the following resolution is offered. Whereas the applicant has submitted a complete petition for the approval of modified initial development plans for a multifamily residential rental building housing 62 apartments under the proposed amendments of PDD number 99, a 1.73 acre site located at 1055 Bridgeport Avenue and extending to Huntington Street. And whereas the commission held a duly noticed public hearing on September 21, 2022, continued on November 16, 2022, and completed on January 18, 2023, to consider said application. Whereas the commission has submitted modified initial development plans, including other related materials, in order to provide the commission with the details and information necessary to render an informed decision. And whereas the commission is familiar with the site, the existing initial development plan approval for a mixed-use commercial development, and the applicable provisions of the adopted PDD 99, and has reviewed and discussed the subject proposal in detail, including revisions submitted to address concerns raised during the ongoing public hearing. And subject to the comments and findings set forth above, the commission notes the following. 1, the application complies with the applicable zoning requirements of section 34, as well as those of PDD 99. Number 2, all necessary referrals have been made and all outstanding concerns of the city engineer, the fire marshal, and any other concerns of other city departments must be addressed during the preparation of final detailed development plans. As there are no inland wetland regulated areas being impacted, no inland wetlands application was required. 3, the site is currently zoned PDD 99 and is occupied by a house, florist shop, related greenhouse buildings, supporting parking and access drives. The subject proposal will result in an acceptable increase in total impervious coverage of the site. All necessary supporting utility services are available in the abutting streets and are adequate to serve the proposed development. All on-site utility services will be underground. Number 4, the applicant has provided traffic information confirming that the projected traffic will be significantly less than that of the currently approved initial development plans for PDD 99. Accordingly, resulting traffic projected will not adversely impact the street system in the immediate vicinity or the levels of service on area public roads and intersections. The commission recommends further review and evaluation by the Bridgeport Avenue driveway design in conjunction with the traffic engineer, the city engineer, and the Shelton Traffic Authority in an attempt to minimize negative exit conditions. Number 5, the maximum allowable residential density shall be no greater than 55 rental units, of which not less than 7 shall be designated as set-aside affordable housing units. Number 6, the modified initial development plans must be further revised to address parking required and layout, as well as final unit count, unit mix, and building design changes to satisfy all the concerns noted herein. And number 7, upon submission, final detailed development plans will need to address minor adjustments in pavement layout, off-site and on-site sidewalks, possible entrance drive geometry change revision, final landscaping plans with attention to the use of native species plant materials, signs, if any, architectural plans reflecting the expanded use of thin stone masonry veneer, specifics regarding exterior materials, and other outstanding concerns to the satisfaction of the commission and its staff. Number 8, the statement of uses and standards requires minor modification relative to the clarification of parking standards, requirements for the affordable housing, and incorporating specifics regarding ongoing stormwater facilities cleaning, maintenance scheduling, etc., as well as mandating the use of native plant species on the final landscape plan. Number 9, the modified PDD 99 continues to be consistent with and is somewhat more compatible with the overall area land use planning and development than the original proposed commercial development shown on the currently approved initial development plans for PDD 99. The modification is consistent with the adopted Shelton Plan of Conservation and Development, as well as the updated Route 8 corridor plan and the comprehensive plan of zoning for the area or the city. Now, therefore, on the basis of the findings and concerns noted above, the various representations made at the public hearings and other discussions of the commission, the Shelton Planning and Zoning Commission, in accordance with the provisions of Section 34, hereby takes the following actions. A, to approve the subject modified initial development plan dated revised January 2nd, 2023, conditioned upon further modification as necessary to address the concerns and conditions set forth herein. Upon submission, final detailed development plans must satisfy all outstanding applicable concerns of the city engineer, fire marshal, local traffic authority, and all other applicable municipal boards and commissions. The modified amended statement of use and standards must be submitted prior to the publication of the notice of adoption of said amendments to PDD 99. And the second part of the motion is B, to adopt the amendments to the statement of use and standards for said PDD 99, which shall become effective on Friday, June 30th, 2023 at 8 a.m. The subject modified initial development plans and the revised statement of use and standards are approved and adopted for the reasons found in the discussion preceding this action and for the following specific reasons. The subject property is suitable to accommodate the modified proposal in a manner that's compatible with the variety of abutting uses. Secondly, the change will accommodate a building of appropriate design, and the proposal will be compatible with abutting development and other uses throughout the Bridgeport Avenue Route 8 corridor, in a manner that affords careful control and is adequately served by the necessary infrastructure of roads and utilities. And next, finally, the change is consistent with the comprehensive plan of zoning for the area, as well as the transitional land use pattern in the area, and does not conflict with the updated Route 8 corridor plan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Panico. Can we have a motion to move the resolution for discussion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, is
Commissioner
there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so on the motion to move the resolution for discussion made by Commissioner Kelly and seconded by Commissioner Motto, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Donato,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. All right, so do any commissioners have any comments, questions, or concerns about the resolution?
I just have one.
All right, Commissioner Kelly, go ahead.
And maybe I'm misreading it. On page 7, the first part of that, where it says for a multi-family residential rental building housing 62 apartments. Shouldn't that be 52 or 55?
I had the same question.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
What-
I think
what are
what
you
Mr.
reading?
Page
Mr.
7.
Panico, it's the
Page
first on the
7.
resolution. Let me
That
give
was
him direction.
an
as to where it
original
is.
error that was corrected in mine.
No,
Oh,
wait a
okay.
minute. Wait a minute.
Wasn't corrected
Wait
in
a
ours.
minute.
It should have, no, you're right. It's 55 is the correct number.
Right,
And
but Mr. Panico, aren't you referring back to where they had submitted a complete petition for the approval? And then later on, it was amended to 52.
yes, but that item specifically says that's what we're acting on.
Okay,
Right, that's what
all
you're
right, I
gonna,
just want to make sure that that was
Yeah.
going to
No,
be the case.
55 is the correct number.
okay.
All
I
right, so
sent the copy in, but I told staff not to worry about it because the changes were negligible. That was the only change of substance, and I should have mentioned that.
okay,
Well, they submitted the petition for 52 units.
Two.
You're saying that they,
No,
yeah.
they submitted an application for 62.
right,
right.
but they changed it to 52, correct?
No,
Right.
they basically showed the commission a modification to their application, which if approved would have resulted in 52.
And you're suggesting that they can, if they so desire, to
2 to
meet,
55.
go to 55.
We're basically leaving the door open to them, because when I looked at that floor plan, I mean, they've got mechanical rooms and stuff on the main level.
Right. So
And
those
maybe
are
it
the
should
minimum.
say-
normally those things are at the basement, and
But maybe it should say up to 55 units, as you've referenced in another part of the,
it said no greater than.
yeah.
So
Because
say-
they didn't propose the 55. You did.
Right,
No, that's correct.
yeah,
We left it, since we're asking for 2 more, instead of having them take that out of their economic structure, if you will.
Yep.
We're giving them the 2 extra units, and to help offset it, we're going to add the possibility for 1 more.
I get
Yeah.
that, but that's not clearly stated in that sentence.
No? Which sentence in particular were you concerned about?
it's the first whereas.
The first whereas.
On page 7.
His paging might be different.
Wait a minute, now we're talking about 2 different things.
No,
The-
No,
The
No,
fourth,
we
the
were
fourth
always
whereas.
referring to the first whereas, Mr. Panico. Find the first whereas.
The first whereas recites exactly what the original application was.
That's right,
That was their original request. In
right,
the course of massaging that in an attempt to address commission's concerns that were raised in the ensuing public hearings, he said, well, if we have to, we can reduce the size of the building, get rid of the parking underneath, cut the density down by 10 units, and that's it.
right. Yeah, we
And
have
then
no
we came
argument with
along
that.
and said, well, 10% affordable that you were approaching is not enough. We really want 2 more affordable units.
Right, we understand that chronologically. However, what it is, I think Commissioner Kelly was saying, should that number be 62?
Which
And I
number?
had said And the first
No, I'm
whereas,
saying it shouldn't it be 52,
right,
but not 62 as shown.
yeah, and then Commissioner Parkins mentioned something that maybe the wording would be better expressed as up to. Or no
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than
I mean, but it
65.
should be 62.
That's essentially what the wording says when it says shall be no greater than. I can
No,
say- I can change no
that's
greater
not
than
what-
to up
that's-
to.
That's not
what
what,
we're reading.
that's not what was on the screen.
Right.
Okay.
So I
What was
know
on the
Alex
screen
just,
is incorrect.
they
That's
just
the error
edited
in
that.
that
Okay.
particular
Wha-
copy.
That is
Well,
not
this is-
Now
what we
it's
saw
changed.
on the screen.
Now,
Could
it-
I ask could I ask a question here?
no,
In the
no.
findings.
Go to the fourth, go to
Okay.
the fourth
Wait a minute.
whereas.
The question has to do with the first one. And the first one did not read up to 55.
Set up to 62.
It said build rental, building, housing, 6-2 apartments. Now, we're not
Alex,
going to
did-
do any
Alex,
more
did you-
editing.
Wait, time
Stop
out, time
editing
out,
the
everybody.
resolution.
Well, who's changing it now?
Alex
Yeah.
is.
Oh, okay.
All right. Put the resolution back to the way it was. It
Yes.
read, for a multifamily residential rental building housing 6-2 apartments.
That was the application. That's correct.
Yes. Take out the verses, take out the
No,
up
no,
to.
come on, guys, you're messing up. Take
I
out
know,
that.
I want it
yellow
back to
stuff.
the original part, how it was originally. Okay. So that's how it read.
That is what the application was when it came in.
We understand that.
Is there a problem with that?
Commissioner Kelly, didn't you have a question about the number?
Yeah,
and the
because
first-
it said the approved of modified initial development plans for a multifamily residential rental building, housing 62. It's not 62 though. He's not doing 62.
Where are you seeing 52, Charlie?
No,
62.
62.
No, this
The
is,
original, 6-2
this
is
is
what the original.
a citation of what the original application was.
Yeah, okay, but it's petition
Right.
for approval of modified. Isn't that
Yes,
the, are we
all we're doing,
modifying?
we're citing.
Didn't
The
they
resolution
modify
is-
it to
is
52?
cite- The resolution is citing the particulars. You got an application for 62 units. You held public hearings. The applicant submitted modified plans. The commission's familiar with the site. And then it concludes with findings of the commission.
Right. And that's where we
And
go
one
into
of
the
those findings
reduction.
was that despite the fact that he had offered 52, in order to satisfy our requirements for affordable housing units, we're willing to approve up to 55.
Right.
Page 5.
The first
Fine.
whereas should
Four.
have the original number, which was 62.
That is correct. I have no
Okay.
problem with that. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking because we talked about the 52 and whatnot, that, we're putting in this resolution. So I figure it was approval for the modified, which they modified it to 52.
No,
No.
no,
We're
no.
acting on the original PDD was for a gas station and other buildings.
Yeah, but that's a modification. The apartments are a modification.
Yeah, to that.
So,
This is the modification now.
okay, all right. That
And as-
that's
and-
my
and he-
question then.
He was willing to cut his density from 62 to 52 until we said, no, you got to have 2 more affordables. Okay?
No, I understand all that, Tony.
Okay.
It's just that I figured the modified is what the last endeavor of the drawings was changed to 52. That was the total modification, but you're saying this was modified from the existing application.
Yes, that's correct.
I understand that now.
I would not have taken the liberty of suggesting that you could increase the density from 52 to 55 if he came in at 52. because we should have started the public hearing at a bigger number. But we
Right.
started the public hearing at 62.
So what we're approving is that we're approving it. If he wants to change it, fine. If he wants to keep it at 52, fine also. Or am I correct?
Sure. If he
Okay.
wants to leave it at 52, that's okay.
All right.
We still want 7 units, 7 affordable units.
Yeah, exactly.
The important thing, he's got to have 7 affordable units. That's right.
I just think that, I was just hung up with the word modify. So,
I had the exact same reaction.
Okay.
Commissioner Kelly, the exact
Can
same
I, is there
reaction.
something I can say to clarify it? I mean, it's,
I understand exactly what the process was. What confused me there whereas they submitted an application.
Right.
Did they come back with a modified plan
This
for
is
52 units?
this is the final of the
okay,
final. That's-
let me back up and explain
It was
it
a
again.
revised-
Came in with an application.
I got that.
In the initial hearings, there was a lot of commentary about the size of the building being too big and this and that. And maybe it was too high. So they took it upon themselves to try to start addressing these concerns before they even had a decision. And
Correct.
they said, well, I guess if we had to, we could shrink the building footprint, we can knock it down to 52 units, et cetera. Then we come along and say, if we're going to approve this plan, we're going to ask you for 2 more units of affordable. In which
Tony,
case we
I
might
get
not
all
have
that.
come
I get
down.
all that. What confuses me is that the plan they submitted, they submitted a revised or a modified plan, correct? There's no
They-
whereas that says, and then the applicant submitted a revised plan for 52 units.
But
There's nowhere it says that.
I don't want to create the impression that there's a lot of legal status to that 52 units, because it isn't.
But didn't they come back with a modified plan for 52
They
units?
they showed you a set of plans. Yes, they did offer, they said if
Okay.
we had to, we could change
They
it to
shortened
this.
it up. Yeah.
Okay, if they had to, they could. Okay, all right,
You know?
All
got
right.
it. So they didn't
I
formally
understand.
submit the plan for 50.
I understand it now.
Right. They
Yes,
did not
now I do.
formally submit an amendment to their application.
Thank you.
That's
That's
the best
that's
way
the
of
response
stating
I
it.
was looking for.
Had they done that,
There'd be a whereas.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Okay, all right, got it.
We're all clear?
You're
All
welcome.
clear.
So then, can I throw something in the mix, Mr. Panico, in that first whereas? Should we insert the word originally in there? Whereas the applicant
if you believe
originally
it-
submitted,
The applicant has submitted a complete petition.
right, but instead of has, should we say whereas the applicant originally submitted? Would that help matters any?
No. No, I think you leave it alone. Originally would be the gas station again.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's,
Oh, hold on. I have a goal myself. All
go ahead,
right.
Commissioner Motto.
I hope it results in a very, very short discussion. The idea of a
No
preponderance,
guarantees there.
the preponderance of native plants strikes me as unenforceable language. I don't see how you would.
Okay, what I was doing here, Elaine, is
Yeah.
I'm planting the seed. I'm planting the seed that it's
No
gonna have
pun
to be
intended.
native materials.
No, I know,
We
but
get to detailed development plans is where we implement it. Now,
Okay.
are there some different words that I should have used perhaps?
I would say all native plants with the exception of lawn.
They what? I'm sorry, what was it?
I would say just require all native plants with the exception of lawn.
Okay,
That's what I would like to
I
see.
could change that descriptive language.
Is that number 8?
I want to look,
Somewhere in the
let's get it in the,
discussion and also
I
in the
can
rest.
find it in the resolution.
Look at number 8.
Yes, okay, we can change it as well as maintaining the use of native plant species of native plants of native species for all plants other than lawn.
Yeah,
You don't want encouraging,
native,
not
native
man-
species for
Doable thing. I think people do it. They just have to
plantings
do it. You know, it's not that hard.
except lawn areas on the final landscape plan. Okay, so the wording will change as well as mandating the use of native species for all plantings except lawn areas on the final landscape plan.
Thank you.
Does that handle it?
That does.
When you say lawn
Does anybody have
areas,
problem with that? Is that okay?
when you said lawn areas, though, I think you meant the actual grass, right? Not like lawn areas where they could plant trees.
I just mean the lawns. Right.
Well,
Yeah,
the
so
trouble is, the only reason I said that is because sometimes they'll give you an argument. Well, this isn't lawn, it's a strip of land in the island between here and there. It's not a lawn, it's just a grass strip.
Well, I don't.
I
I mean, it's a semantic, but it's lawn
we
areas,
can-
except
we-
lawn
we-
areas. So
we will
if they,
we will implement that in an interpretation that fulfills our intent.
When
Okay,
their final plan, yeah.
'Cause
Okay,
it's what finally shows up on the final plans. That's right.
right.
Okay, so I'll incorporate that.
Thank you.
Any other comments for the resolution? Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution as amended?
I'll make that motion, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, is there a second?
Commissioner
I'll-
D'Onofrio, I'll second.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Thank you. So on the motion to approve the resolution as amended, made by Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Onofrio. We'll do a roll call. Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Perkins,
I,
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Donato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 6-0. Okay, moving on to our next agenda item, which is application 2307. PDD number 97, Huntington Village, Dominic Thomas for Huntington Village LLC, Assessors Map 73, portion of Lot 80, for modification of PDD number 97, approval of final site development plans. Public hearing for this application was held on May 31st. The proposal is to modify PDD number 97 and approve final site development plans. I feel that this is proposal is suitable. How does the rest of the commission feel?
I would agree.
Yeah, I think
Perkins?
I would also.
Okay,
big improvement over what we've been through with this site.
That's for sure.
Yes.
yep. Okay. Commissioner Onofrio or Commissioner Donato?
Yeah, just for clarity's sake, this is, we still would have to, they would still have to propose as they sell the, or to build each individual lot. I know there was a lot of questions around the materials being used in the subdivision and all that. That would still come forward to us, right?
No,
There is a resolution that we can go over that Mr. Rossetti did prepare, and it does address that. So that would have been my next question, that if commission had a consensus to move forward on this favorably, we could act on this tonight. So you could, if that would suffice for now, it's
Did
We'll
the,
see.
did the applicant, I know it can't be shown to us because that's submitting new, but did the applicant submit architecturals to staff?
they did. They provided us
Provided
with
staff, yes.
4 elevations of nice, clean colonial homes. Nothing
Okay.
outlandish. Nothing you haven't probably already seen. As well as an updated statement of use and standards describing the materials and build type for a
Okay.
colonial house.
Okay, as long as staff is satisfied with that.
Okay,
Yeah,
but can I ask Mr. Panago?
They
Through
specify
staff?
the kind, they specify the kinds of materials,
Mhm.
the garage doors, it's garage requirements and preservation of the garage space. You can't convert the garage space and things like that.
Okay,
Commissioner
but
Kelly,
Mr.
would that be,
Panago, Mr. Panago, through staff, can we not see those elevations? I know the public hearing is closed and everything.
Well, the public hearing was closed and, you know,
But we
Yeah.
haven't rendered a decision.
No. No, I just don't think it's appropriate for the commission to delegate to
understand,
staff what it looks like, what these elevations look like.
well, this is Commissioner Kelly, will that be within the resolution?
I don't want to open the door for somebody to have a basis for a legal action.
I agree.
understand
We've been there
completely.
before.
That the
Yeah.
commission was influenced by an exhibit after the hearing was closed.
Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
I think in this case, we have to trust staff's opinion. They knew what you knew what, Tony understood what we were looking for, so.
Yeah.
Commissioner Donato, did you have any comments on this?
Now, we're talking about the Huntington Village here.
Yep.
yeah,
Now, weren't we supposed to, is that what the question is now?
Yeah, we
Weren't they
have
gonna
requested to see elevations, but unfortunately, because the public hearing was closed, we cannot see those. Staff saw them.
I
Well, that
understand
would be-
the concerns that we had is we didn't want to see a modern building
Yeah.
being built by somebody who purchased a site and it's not the applicant that's doing the building. And in order to guard against that, in addition to the statement about a colonial appearance, the commission asked them to submit to us, which they did, architecturals reflecting that. And they did submit preliminary architecturals.
Mhm.
Would you like me to read the report and see how that goes? And if you guys would like more criteria, we can build that in.
Okay, we have to start somewhere, so.
They also submitted to us a list of things that they were going to include. I took the opportunity to comment on them and add to them, which they incorporated.
Okay.
The applicant Huntington Village LLC has filed an amendment to PDD number 97 for approval of final site development plans to construct a single-family residential development of 8 units with fee simple lots in place of 16 single-family units previously approved in application 1913. The proposed location of the development is the Huntington Congregational Church's 6.15 acre piece of property, which currently is vacant forested land. The proposed site has steep topography with an average grade change of 27% from eastern to western property lines. The topography is steepest on the western side of the property, and this proposal reduces the amount of land disturbance by focusing on the eastern side of the parcel. It will result in less blasting and excavation than the prior approval. This neighborhood predominantly consists of single-family homes on lots ranging from 0.62 to well over 1 acre, with a median size of just under an acre. The lots in this development range from 0.38 to 0.73 of an acre, with 1.79 acres remaining undisturbed with a conservation easement retained by the church. Also, nearby are a few communal places of worship, a community center, and a small commercial center that supports the local community. Staff has reviewed the site and architectural plans entitled Plan Development District Number 97, prepared by James R. Swift, dated April 6, 2023. A duly noticed public hearing was held on May 31st, 2023, to consider the final site plans as submitted. Comments expressed at the hearing include the following. 1, the architectural style of the homes to be built should blend in with those that are in the neighborhood at the present time and preferably be colonial style. 2, questions regarding the driveway on lot 1 and if they should be connected to the proposed cul-de-sac. 3, future maintenance of the development area and private road needs to be established as there is no HOA. In response to these comments, the applicant has submitted architectural elevation drawings of 4 colonial homes and an updated SOUS with descriptive measures of colonial homes, which should address concerns expressed by the commission. If the architectural standards do not appear to align with the commission's requests, staff reserves the right to bring each permit before the commission for approval. Due to the change in elevations, connecting the driveway from lot 1 to the cul-de-sac appears as less suitable than a curb cut onto Ripon Road. The city engineer may require revisions, which can be addressed by their office if needed. The applicant will file a declaration of road and detention pond maintenance on the land records for each parcel so that these common items are maintained cooperatively into the future. If the commission is prepared to dispose of this application at this time, the following conditions and stipulations are recommended. A building permit will not be issued until such time as soil and erosion control bonds are in place as determined by the engineer and corporation council. Prior to site work, the limit of disturbance will be flagged and S&E measures will be in place. Number 3, compliance with all requirements of other city departments, including the engineers, Water Pollution Control Authority, and the Wetlands Fire Marshal and Local Traffic Authority, if not already obtained. The planning and zoning administrator and city engineer be notified at least 48 hours before construction. And the commission reserves the right to request an additional vegetative buffer or fence screening if issues arise in the renovated areas. And all plant materials should be native to the New England region. 6, this approval shall be null and void if construction site improvements are not completed within 5 years of the approval date.
I'll move the motion for discussion.
Okay, there's a motion to move the discussion from Commissioner Parkins. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, and on the vote to move the motion, Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Donato,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Okay, discussion?
Alex, can you go back to the resolution to the part about there not being an HOA? I'm just wondering if something should be put in there about the city not providing garbage service. I think that's something that most people expect when they move to the city, but if that's going to be a private road, it probably should be stated in there that there will not be city trash collection. Just look for the word HOA, wherever that was. There it is. Future maintenance of the development area and private road needs to be established as there is no HOA. I just think it needs to be mentioned somewhere in there.
I'm trying to think.
That applies private road with it when it's a private road.
Yeah, they won't go on private roads to do garbage
No.
collection.
You buy a place on a private road. Isn't that understood in terms of your closing documents or?
I would think so. You know, that's even with the plowing, anything, right?
I would think that would be something people would be aware of. I don't know that having ours stating all of those items would make them more aware. I don't think it would help a buyer understand, our resolution. They wouldn't be.
I don't think a buyer in general would be aware that a private road doesn't have trash collection.
But would our resolution help them in that way? I don't think they would ever know this.
Wouldn't that have to be disclosed by the real estate agent,
Well, whether they do or not, it's on the resolution, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Tony? Tony, do you think it should be in there or not?
Well, Alex is typing some words and I'm just watching it. If you make reference to the city not being responsible for rubbish removal, snow removal, etc.
So I guess the other question is the city has private roads where people actually bring their cans and whatnot down to the street side, if you will. Like I don't know how big this development is in terms of whether people would be willing to do that or not, but.
Well, what is it, 6
And the other
acres?
thing, that's not something we want.
Oh, goodness. Be like,
Yeah, right, to be all lined up on the road.
Yeah. All right, is everybody
know it
seeing
happens.
the paragraph that starts, the applicant will file a declaration of road and detention pond maintenance? The last sentence is new.
In the list of comments where you made reference to the city engineer reviewing something, can you slide to that, Alice?
Are you talking about the curb cut interrupted road and the city engineer may require revisions for that driveway?
No, go to that list where it's the one that then building permit.
So an erosion control
Kinds of
bond?
requirements, city engineer. I
Number
just,
3 has city engineer.
I want to make sure that the city engineer has the ability to comment on the quality of construction of that private road.
Of course, they have, yeah. I mean,
Well,
they
I
do.
just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, no, RIMS,
Isn't that what
Yeah.
number 3 says? Compliance with all requirements and conditions of the city engineer?
Well, that's what I just want to make sure that it's broad enough to
Right.
tell the city engineer if he wants something done a certain way, they're going to have to do it.
Mhm.
absolutely, yep.
And it should include the quality of the pavement.
Yep, he's got a pamphlet that he hands out.
I was originally going to say that it had to be built to city standards, but that might be a little bit too much.
That would only be if they wanted the city to
Maintain it.
turn it over to the city, right?
Yes.
But knowing him, it will likely be very similar. If not the same.
All right, so is there any need to add any additional wording to this?
Well, Alex did to the one up above it, right?
No, I'm talking about
Oh, the road one.
Panico's concern
No,
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
about the road construction. Okay, if there isn't any further comments about the road construction, as Mr. Panico was talking about, and we have that additional sentence in there. Any further comments, questions, or concerns? Okay, is there anyone that would like to move the motion for approval?
This Commissioner Kelly, I'll move the motion for favorable approval.
Okay, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that's Commissioner Amato. So on the motion to approve the resolution made by Commissioner Kelly, second by Commissioner Amato, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Donato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 6-0. Okay, we're moving on now to the public portion. If there's anyone from the public who would like to comment on an item that is not on the agenda, please use Zoom's raise your hand feature or dial *9 on your phone to be recognized. Mr. Rossetti, is there anyone that is indicating that they would like to address the commission?
There are two members. First up is Tom Harbinson. So his hand go up first.
Okay, Mr. Harbinson, you have the floor. 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Am I allowed to speak?
Yeah, I acknowledged you, so
I'm sorry.
limit
Yeah,
your
my-
comments to 5 minutes. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah, the Zoom was changing to allowing me some panelists.
Oh.
And I was just as you probably know, I watch your meetings or try to attend them. And I was just having some confusion as to PDDs in residential areas. Last meeting, you discussed where the first PDD, or actually Attorney Thomas did. And I'm not sure which the first residential PDD, or residential use for a PDD was occurring. But I do remember on Perry Hill Road, the Sylvester Way, completely surrounded by residential property. And a PDD was applied for and then subsequently approved. And I asked at the time, how can a PDD be utilized in an area that's completely surrounded by residential zoned land? And I was told that the Highland Golf Club was a commercial activity, even though it was residentially zoned land and is quite open in character. Second time that a PDD was used for residential use that I had question about was a property in Huntington Church property. And at the time I was told that it was adjacent to the commercial activity of Huntington Center, even though there's the church property, Route 108, the Huntington Green, Route 108 again, and then the commercial activity. So I just would hope that our town planner and staff could refresh the commissioner's knowledge as to where PDDs are appropriate based upon your zoning regulations 34.1. And I'll just excerpt one sentence that says PD districts shall not be allowed on any site or parcel that is entirely surrounded by single-family residential zones. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Harbinson. Okay, and Mr. Rossetti, is there someone else that wanted to address the commission?
There is. Their name is not listed, but they'll be right up.
Okay. Are we good to go, Mr. Rossetti?
That's up to the person on Samsung SM. There they go.
Hi, sorry. I think I'm on there now.
Yes, you are. Please identify yourself for the record.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Pauscher. It was for left field. I wasn't able to join. I was having problems, so.
Okay, Jennifer,
this
do me a
time.
favor, please, for our recording secretary. How do you spell your last name?
F as in Frank, Aucher.
And what's your address, please?
179 Bridgeport Avenue, Shelton.
Okay, and what would you like to comment to the commission?
I was just wondering about the approval for the left field sports bar and grill sign, the old hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I couldn't join. I was trying to join and I was
Yeah.
able to get on there at like 6:12 and you guys had already did it.
Yep, okay. Just call the office tomorrow and they'll fill you in on all the details. There is, the zoning subcommittee had recommended that just the street number be centered in the middle of the sign, no street name, no phone number.
Just street number centered in the sign.
Yeah.
Okay,
They'll give you the details, okay?
perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I take it that you're affiliated with this particular business?
Yes,
work-
my son and I are in the process of purchasing.
Very good. Good luck to you in your new venture.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Zeddy, anyone else from the public?
Not at this time.
Okay, so we'll move on to other business. First is a discussion on terminating the citywide moratorium with the exception of the Central Business District on the acceptance review and approval of high-density residential rental housing. What's the feeling of the commission on this particular topic?
Well, Commissioner Kelly, I feel it was adopted by the Board of Aldermen, so I think we've done our job and it should be adopted at this point.
Well, the affordable housing plan was adopted by the commission and adopted by the city. Are you saying that the moratorium should be suspended?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Anyone else?
I believe that was part of our discussion when we extended the moratorium, that we would try to get it over with as soon as possible. So
Correct.
I would agree with Commissioner Kelly that it's time to do that now.
Okay. Any other commissioner? Commissioner Donato? Do you have any opinion on
Well,
this?
I don't think I was here when you originally started the moratorium. So how long has that been in effect?
It went into effect last year and it was extended. Should have expired at the end of April, I believe, and we extended it for about 6 months. So, but if you'd like to
November,
pass
I think, November
November,
timeframe.
so June, say, if you'd like to pass, that would be fine. Commissioner Mata, how about you?
Yeah, did we end up saying we could end it at any time before the 6 months, or do we have to have a public
Yes.
hearing?
Yeah.
Do have to have a public
You
hearing.
still have to have a public hearing. Attorney Titoso was very clear
Not to
about
exceed
that
6.
procedure, that you do have to have a public hearing. And it could, we were not held to let it run out on its own course. If we wanted
No,
to,
we said it would not
We
exceed
could.
6 months.
yeah,
That's the way we
So I-
term used.
Hearing. I wanted to clarify that, but I think our rationale for having it and keeping it going has ended.
right. Okay. All right, and then finally, Commissioner Nafrio.
No, I concur with the rest of the commissioners here. I think it serves its purpose, and I think it's now time to move on.
Okay, so is there a motion to set a public hearing on the termination of the citywide moratorium from anyone?
Commissioner Kelly, I'll make that motion.
Okay, there's a motion from Commissioner Kelly to set a public hearing on the termination of the citywide moratorium. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second from Commissioner Amato. So on the motion to hold a public hearing on terminating the citywide moratorium, do a roll call. Commissioner Parkins?
Aye.
Yeah, Commissioner Amato?
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio?
Aye.
Commissioner Donato?
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. So staff will place that on an agenda in an upcoming meeting for a public hearing. And like other times, we do not necessarily have to wait for a further meeting to vote on it. We could close the public hearing and vote on it the same night. Okay. So the motion has been approved by a vote of 6-0. Next is an update on the proposal to amend the zoning regs for the use of native plants and landscaping for commercial projects. Commissioner Amato, can you give the commission an update about the work session that was held last Wednesday evening?
Sure. I'll just briefly, we had a guest, Douglas Talamy, who's an expert on using native plants in residential and commercial areas. He's a professor at University of Delaware. He's widely published both professionally and for the lay public. So he was very generous in giving us some of his time, which is ordinarily very valuable. I'll just say two takeaways that I thought were important for us. One was his contention that really you can use native plants anywhere. The idea that you can't use them on at roadsides or any other difficult sites is erroneous. You just need to do the research and figure out what the right plants are and maintain them appropriately. And the other thing that he emphasized was the use of what he calls keystone plants, that you can get a lot of bang for your buck with using certain species that are very interactive with the environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that particular session was less than 30 minutes, I believe, because of his time constraint. And it is recorded and it can be found on the city's website. If with the new city's website, if you have a problem finding it, just give me a shout. I can forward the link to you.
Yeah, and I have several
ahead.
of the books. So if anybody wants to borrow the books or anybody
Oh,
wants
Yeah, he's
walk-
authored what, 4 books or something?
at least, yeah.
Yeah. So
I have-
there, there was a very good article about how he got into this in Smithsonian Magazine from about I was it 10 or 20 years ago or something that he started this. And it gave a good perspective of things on this topic. So any questions for Commissioner Motto from anyone? Okay, hearing none, I'll move along. Comments from the chair. There was not an SEDC meeting this month. And going on to subcommittee chairs, Commissioner Kelly.
I have no comment.
Okay, Commissioner Motto.
Well, we just continue to work on the signs prior to. I hope that's working well for all of us.
Okay.
They're pretty quick.
Yeah. By the way, Mr. Rossetti, I meant to ask, do you have any new info to share with the commission on what other communities are doing on the use of native plants and whether there are some actual regulations that other communities have that we could review?
I don't have an update on other communities. I was looking at a couple of the sources that the gentleman referred us to. One of them was that I thought was most helpful was on the Audubon Society. You enter your zip code and it's can spit out a list for you. Have you seen that one? Okay. I was playing with some mock-ups, which I can share with you guys soon, or I'll put it on the Google Drive for everyone to look at, for us to have a conversation about how and where we might want to implement some of these ideas.
And, you know, at the time, if there are new regulations drawn up, it does have to go to a public hearing. So the public definitely has a chance to comment. And if, when you're putting things on the Google Drive, if there's anything that shows a visual of a plant, that would be very helpful because people just may not understand. And I certainly don't. I can't go up to a certain plant and say, oh, that's a native or that's not. So.
Gotta call Lane.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, maybe Elaine can make a video of her beautiful grounds.
The only thing I could definitely identify is poison ivy, that's for sure.
I take you all on a little quick tour around here and tell all the non-native invasives. Very easy for me to show you.
Okay, comments from the staff, Mr. Rossetti.
Nothing in particular.
Okay, Ms. Castro. How is that new computer system feature coming along?
I'll have to add her back in she must have demoted herself.
Okay.
I'm very impressed so far with the new website, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
No, it's that Municity thing. It's a
Oh, the
easier.
Municity. Okay.
and file applications.
I'm back.
Okay, so Castro, can you give us an update on the computer system that's being used for applications?
OpenGov, we are going live on July 6th. We have some more training to go through. Otherwise, our systems are pretty up and running. I feel pretty good about going live.
Okay, you said July 6th?
Yes.
Okay, and you had suggested that each of us do a mock application. How do we do that?
I will send it out. We had to make some little adjustments, but I should be able to send that out tomorrow.
Okay, all right. So if we get it done within the next couple of weeks. Okay. Mr. Panico, how about you? Do you have any comments?
No, I have a couple of comments on the minutes that we're going to approve.
Yep, we're doing that next. Okay.
It's really, I guess my comments are I've been finding it kind of difficult sometimes to sort out meetings versus continuations of public hearings and things like that. And we just got to be a little bit more careful when we put the agendas together, because the way the agenda is set up, that's a format that carries over into the minutes.
Madam Chair, I do have one last comment I'd like to bring up for the commission. Can you refresh with all of us our summer dates?
Sure. Yeah, let me just find my list. That might take me a couple minutes, so if you want to move ahead to, oh no, I got him.
Okay.
That was a lucky find. All right, so for the remainder of the month, we have the 21st and 28th. In July, we have just the 12th and the 26th. And in August, we have the 9th and the 23rd. And then once the calendar changes to September, it's 3 meetings.
Fine.
Does that help, Mr. Rossetti?
I'm exactly what I've got. Just want to make sure we all hear the same thing.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, so moving on to approval of meeting minutes for May 24th. I had something for the other minutes. So does anybody have any corrections or comment changes for the May 23rd minutes, 24th minutes?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Onofrio. I will, I think I'm listed as, am I, oh, no, I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm listed correctly there. I just need to abstain when we approve it. Sorry.
Okay,
I was thinking, yeah.
yeah. All
Madam
right.
Chairman,
I have a couple of things on the minutes on page 3. The first sentence, actually, I should just pull it up, but the spelling of the contractor is way off. I think it said Bria.
Okay,
His name's actually Rob Brute. I can't pronounce it right, but I could understand where they got that. It's spelt Brouillettete.
oh, okay, yep.
I'm familiar with him, so I knew that
Yep.
name was not right. And then on the motion of approving that, it should say the variance applies to this lot only, because I know, I think Tony was pretty specific that it doesn't apply to the whole PDD or PRD, however it was approved, that it's
Okay.
only for that lot.
So in that section, right in the middle of the page, it says C, application 2311. We're talking about 3 or 4 lines before that. Motion made by Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Parkins to approve the application with the stipulation that the variance applies only to this lot.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Did you have anything else, Commissioner Parkins?
not on those minutes, no.
Okay. And Mr. Panico, did you have anything?
on, if
Oh,
we
wait.
go to page 4, are we all through with that page?
Yeah, whatever you
Okay.
have. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I did have
When I
something on
first-
page 4, but maybe you have it. Go ahead,
Okay.
Tony.
When I first looked at page 4 and I got down to old business, I automatically thought that was going to be a discussion of that application, but lo and behold, that's a continuation of the public hearing.
Yeah, it was. We
It-
hadn't
it's-
closed it.
Huh?
We had not closed that public hearing before that
I
meeting.
know, and the hearings should all really be grouped together. If the other 3 items are all public hearing items, and this is a public hearing item, why do you separate it into a category of old business?
I think
Because
maybe
it's
the
a-
thought
are we-
process
are we-
was this was old business. It was something that had already been on previous
So
agendas.
anytime there's a continuation of the public hearing, that's old business?
That's one way of taking it.
Well,
The staff.
we haven't been
we can all look
following
into
that. We've done it sometimes like that and sometimes not like that. I just find it very confusing.
Okay, I'll make a note that we should discuss that at the staff level. Okay,
Yeah.
so that would stay as it's reported in the minutes. Did you have anything else, Mr. Panico, throughout May 24th?
I think just to make sure nobody else makes the same misinterpretation that I did, maybe at the right up at the front where it says A, application 2228, insert the words continuation of public hearing.
Okay, we'll take that under consideration. Sure. All right, and Commissioner Parkins, what was the part?
So on page 4, the second to the last paragraph, we referenced the engineering firm will provide. I don't think it made clear who is it a peer review that's being done, that the city's having done?
Is
think
this on
I just need-
application 2228?
Oh, let me pull up the minutes.
Oh, I see. It's the tab on my copy because I have larger type at the top of page 5. It says Attorney Dominic Thomas from Cohen and Thomas addressed the commission on behalf of the applicant. He indicated revised plans were uploaded to the city's website within 30 minutes of the commission meeting. Since they were received late, he referenced an engineering firm will review the application, and Mr. Rossetti confirmed.
Yes,
Okay,
I think we should just be a little bit more explicit there that the review is being done on behalf of the city, right? Or
Mr.
is it a
Rossetti,
peer
wanna-
review?
Mhm. Mr. Rossetti, can you comment on that?
Yes, the peer review is being done on behalf of the city.
Okay. All right, so maybe if we just say he referenced a peer review.
He referenced an engineering firm will conduct a peer review
Of the
of the
application,
application,
yeah,
and Mr. Rossetti confirmed.
yeah.
Will conduct a peer review.
It just kind of, because it was coming from their attorney, it sounded like he was hiring the firm
Yep.
to review the application, so
Okay.
just for clarification, and that's all I have on that.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments or changes on May 24th minutes? The hearing none, is there a motion to approve the May 24th minutes as changed?
I'll make that motion, Commissioner Parkins.
Okay, and is there a second?
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Charlie.
I'll second it, Commissioner Kelly.
Okay, so on the motion to approve the May 24th minutes with the changes made by Commissioner Parkins, seconded by Commissioner Kelly, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Onofrio?
Sorry, trying to unmute. I need to abstain, Commissioner Harder, just I was
That's
not
fine.
present for that meeting. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Donato?
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins?
Aye.
Commissioner Amato?
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly?
Aye.
And chair votes aye. The motion passes by a vote of 501. All right, anybody have any comments or changes for May 31st? I have a spelling correction as well.
Yeah, just the Schauwecker.
References- Yeah, Ron Schauwecker, the correct spelling is SCHAUWECKER. And Commissioner Parkins, I just want to bring your attention under other business. Letter A, minutes for approval. Small I, it said Commissioner Parkins requested that her statement in the minutes read that she agreed with most of the comments Mr. O'Leary made during application 2213 and suggested he testify before the state. Is
Yes.
that appropriate?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
good. All right. Anybody have any other comments or changes to the minutes? Okay, hearing none. Is there anyone that wants to make a motion to approve the May 31st minutes as changed?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Kelly.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll
I'll
second Commissioner Onofrio.
Okay, Commissioner Afro is seconding. So on the motion to approve the May 31st minutes as with the changes, Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Donato,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed by a vote of 6-0. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, seeing there's no other item on the agenda, the chair declares this evening's meeting is adjourned as of 8:56 p.m. Thank you very much. We'll see
Good
you.
night,
later.
everyone.
Good night,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.